Is this the World Series of Poker?
The K. Mikey M. Memorial Annual Poker Extravaganza?
I mean, look at all these people who are so excited to win money for charity.
Catherine, we can really see all their cards. Oh man, they are started. This is so exciting. Look at this. The first hand, someone has pocket queens. We'll introduce ourselves. We have no plan for this, but I think we're gonna be just fine. But you get dealt pocket queens in the first hand, and you gotta roll with it.
Let's give everyone context for who's playing. So this is a charity poker tournament that the person who demanded he live in my house is doing for his birthday and for charity and for fun. Oh, look at that. I know that Tatiana's got pocket queens because you taught me that 2 queens are pocket queens, right?
And we are Josh Beresin and Catherine Burrell, a regular poker player in this game and a very occasional poker player in this game, respectively.
And a one-time poker player in the game, but an all-the-time poker receiver from Mike.
Sorry, this hand got really interesting. So Nick had a shitty hand, and it just backed into a straight. This is classic. Look at the disappointment on Tatiana's face from the get-go.
And, what's great about Nick winning the hand is that he's winning it not only for himself, but for his between 8 and 90 children he has.
No, we will get there. Nick is Tatiana's nemesis in this game, and so that was like it's maximally painful for her to lose to him.
How did the nemesis relationship begin between the two of them?
Tatiana is a loose player. She plays and calls a lot of hands, and Nick is also a loose player, so they just get into big hands against each other. I'm sorry, we have another huge. What is with the cards? We have Queen, Queen, King, King, and Ace, Queen from the get-go.
Do you think that Mike stacked the deck with extra queens, aces, and
look at Jay? Jay losing it. Sorry, in the upper right, Jay with pocket queens made it 500, and Chris went all in with pocket kings, and Kevin got the hell out of the way with ace king, which is the best. Okay, this is so good. Jay could go out right now.
Have you been watching World Series of Poker announcements to practice so that you'll show me up?
I've always wanted to commentate anything, and this is the first good fold. This started so rapidly. There's so much context to provide, and the cards that came so far have just been amazing.
I think that we should give everyone a lay of the land in terms of who's playing, who we should be rooting for, whose charity is best.
Absolutely.
And some fun facts about the players, which I've accumulated because I actually did research about the players, and I heard that you didn't. I heard you didn't do any.
As soon as we can catch our breath, yes. I think we have a quieter hand here. But I love that idea. What's the format? The format is it's a regular poker tournament, and the top 3 places get paid, and so then their charities get paid.
Right.
Great.
Do you have a list of the charities that people are playing for?
I was searching my email for it, and I did find it. Some of them are not obvious what they are. Maybe you want to take us through them.
Well, I know that. Okay, right. So the person I'm rooting for 2 people. I think it's okay because this is pretty informal that I can just be biased about who I'm rooting for. The 2 people I'm rooting for are Dan Hamamura, who is my colleague on the show that I just worked on, television's Kung Fu, which is currently airing on the CW at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Dan was my work husband, a great person. And he is playing for it is an Asian American Pacific Islander health fund program. And then personality wise, I want Dan to take it because he deserves good things in life. And then I'm also kind of into Kevin Lincoln, who is the former journalist, boyfriend of my work wife from another show I worked on. and he's playing for the mutual aid organization that I cook for, called the MacArthur Park Foundation, where we go to MacArthur Park in Los Angeles, California, and give out hot, delicious meals to our unhoused neighbors. Everyone else, I don't care about.
Yeah, well, it's good to have an opinion.
Tatiana, I'll always root for a woman. I'll always root for the only woman in the room too. You know,
absolutely.
It's hard to be the only. I've been the only woman. Josh, have you ever been the only woman in the room?
From time to time. From time to time. It doesn't happen a lot.
It's tough. So we'll give us some magic dust as well. And then you gotta like give it up for Bo, a kind man, always in a hoodie, as far as I can tell.
I did a pre-game interview with him about his sartorial choices, and he admitted that he wore the hoodie that he always wears.
Oh, really? Is it his lucky hoodie, do you think?
It's his hoodie.
It's his hoodie. We at least know that it's his. That's what we know for sure. He hasn't stolen from anyone.
Yeah, it's a go-to. It's a classic.
It's a jade green hoodie. Bo tonight is playing for another organization that I can really get behind, RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, which was founded by piano queen and B-religion master Tori Amos.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's a fact. If you go back to her album Little Earthquakes from 1991, she talks about an unfortunate evening upon which she was assaulted, and she in the 90s, I mean, women were definitely under-resourced in that department in terms of who they could turn to, and so she took it upon herself to start an organization to provide support for victims and survivors. So thank you, Bo. And then who else do we have?
We have some I haven't heard of. I don't know Morgan's charity, No Us Without You, but I can click on this link that has been fed to us by the producers and see what it is. I think it's an LA local, maybe also frequent, what do you call it? Mutual aid?
Yes.
Provides food security for undocumented and unemployed back-of-house staff and their families. They are serving 7,500 humans, says the website, every week at no cost. It's a 501c3 located in Boyle Heights in Los Angeles, California.
That's not mutual aid. If it's a 501c, it's not mutual aid.
That's what I was wondering, because the MacArthur Park one is like not an organization, and I think that's cool and interesting.
No, all right, what's happening? What is everyone?
We'll get to the poker. We'll get to the poker.
Let's see. Drew is playing for a local organization, Portland.
I know this organization.
Your Scrap? What's up with Scrap?
They collect stuff that you They collect stuff you might reuse and make into art, and then they make it available for you to make into art. And that's cool.
Crayons, paper, animal skin.
You know, your toilet paper rolls. That's not fair. But all kinds of things that a creative person could transform into a thing of beauty, I think, broadly.
Speaking of toilet paper and paper towel tubes, have you ever played Looky Tubey in your life?
No. Will you tell me how?
Yeah. Okay. So imagine we're at the poker game and we're sitting around a table and everyone there's one person who's got a paper towel roll, and what happens is one person has the paper towel roll and they're the chosen one, and then the paper towel person has to leave the room, and among the people around the table, it's decided upon that someone is going to make a silly face. And so what you do is when the person comes back in and puts the tube to their eye, they have to go around to every single person at the table who's making a neutral face. And then when they get to the person who's making the silly face, it's a surprise for the person who has the paper towel roll.
That sounds kind of fun. Who plays
this? It's pretty fun. It's pretty
adults.
You play in a children, adults. It's like a folk game, and you can only play it once, because once you've done it once, then there's no surprise. So it's It's something that only one person can enjoy.
Is it better drunk?
No, I think it's good when you're bored and you're stuck for ideas.
There's the thing you can do with the tube where you have your hand on the outside of it and it looks like there's a hole in your hand, the optical illusion. That's the only game I know of you can play with a paper towel roll.
Never done that. But you know what? I'm really happy that Drew's playing for the charity that can provide that kind of resourcing for people who want to play.
Exactly.
Or Lucky Tubby.
Exactly. Chris is playing for the Able Gamers Foundation, which, if I remember correctly, is about, let's pull it up. Let's not guess. Combating social isolation through play. So they're working on providing like adaptive interfaces for multiplayer social gaming for people who are differently abled.
That is cool.
I'm in. I didn't even know about these guys before this.
I want to find the charity where we're like, no, we hate that one. That one we're not into.
Well, I think there's some interesting controversy available to us. I think that Mike is a collector of people who tend to be on the liberal end of the spectrum, and there is one of these groups that is, I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting in that it supports with like direct financial aid, young, or I don't know if young is even the word, but women who feel constrained in their choices around a pregnancy, and it provides support for women who choose not to have financial support for women who choose not to have an abortion. It
incentivizes them to have the baby.
This is Nick's charity, Let Them Live.
All right. I mean,
and it is a 501c3 organization, which is certainly, the kind of charity that this is driving support for, but a different theme from some of the others.
It is. Oh, there we go. Nick H. That's great. Look at this. Look at this Chiron that just popped up. I didn't realize that we had such a.
Wow.
I mean, it's funny that that's the first Chiron that pops up in terms of the charities, which, thank you, Aaron, for that. I think
get there when you get there.
Listen, I want everyone to have choices for anything they might like to do. And if America would be a great place for a lot of different reasons if we change some things. And I think that, look, apparently Aaron's been doing all of the Chirons. I think we just got
that one. Yeah, we were wrapped up in ourselves.
No, it's true. Yeah, listen, I think that wouldn't it be cool if we just provided support for mothers after children?
We're gonna have to start paying attention to the game at some point, but this is fun too. Jay just went all and won. But what was I gonna say? I was thinking about it. I mean, like I'm a pro-choice individual, but I was thinking of it as being something like not like basic income, but like I liked that it was direct financial support, at least, as opposed to, anyway, I don't know enough about it.
Imagine there's a woman out there and she's like, I am pregnant, that was unexpected, that happens, and then she's like, I don't have the money for it, and that sucks, so I logistically I should have an abortion, and then she's stoked when she finds this charity, and I hope that that's the profile of the person who goes there, and there's no shame involved. And I hope that there's no shame or judgment involved around the charity. Surely there isn't.
Surely. Let's come back to the poker. We have missed some. People have had the opportunity to see a lot of exciting hands. We haven't had the opportunity to comment on a lot of exciting hands yet.
I just want to say, like, Mike's like, get back to the poker, and we're here talking about, religion and abortions, and then he goes 3 kings, and I'm like, but Mike, that's
coming right back to religion, aren't we?
Right back to religion. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is God telling us that let them live or something.
Our viewers can't see that the comment from Mike, but I appreciate the reference. So
there's 3 kings. Kings in the flop. And then Tatiana's got the 3rd
Tatiana underbet a pot. She bet 50 into 310 and still got a fold from Drew Modi in the upper left, who had the 4, which I'm a little surprised. I think Bo's going to drop here. No, Bo has a straight draw, and it was cheap, so he saw it. That's the risk of betting too little, which we saw in like that first or second hand when Tatiana had queens and she bet too little and let marginal hands hang around until they made a huge hand and she lost. But that time she got away with it.
I'm so happy you know how to talk about this, because I'm just like, who is winning?
This is a good opportunity to announce that if anyone wins a hand at any point,
they have to pay for someone's abortion.
Right. And if you win a hand with 7 deuce, like Jay has right now, Bo will donate an additional $72 if anyone wins with 7 deuce to his charity Rain. And Jay will donate $27 additional to Pair. And Jay made a little play at this one. He raised with his 7 deuce here from the button. He's the dealer here. That's the lingo. To signal a little bit of strength before the flop. He got a ton of callers. So someone's
here who you think would be most likely to donate a kidney.
Me? I've explored that actually.
Really? For who?
Yeah. For a stranger.
That's so nice. Why would you do that for some jerk off?
Yeah, there's a huge risk that person is terrible.
I know. What if you professionally like propagate or like continue the life of somebody who's evil?
It's a really weird bet, but it's a thing I can do, and so I'm kind of interested in it.
Do you have a third kidney?
I have like 6 in there.
That's cool.
I
have 6 breasts.
Sorry?
I have 6 breasts.
You could consider donation.
It's true. I should.
I would consider that.
That's my charity. It's a charity that is that provides support for women who are born with 6 breasts.
Oh, yeah.
The cow charity. All right, what's happening now? So, who's winning this game? By the way,
this is so exciting. Oh, so this was an exciting hand already. Jay continued to bluff at it. Morgan has the nuts right now. There's no possible hand better than him. And so he made a nice big raise, and Jay's going to get the hell out of there, or he's going to re-raise recklessly, but I don't think he'll do that. And Tatiana, she doesn't know she has no outs, but the best she could do is split the pot.
And Chris died. Chris is dead now.
Why? Yeah, we don't have a face. I think he didn't have a camera. He's perfectly, he's not hiding.
He's perfectly fine. Like he doesn't have.
It's not like he's a gruesome, No, he's a handsome man. We see him on the poker feed all the time.
He's handsome, really. Like, is he more handsome than Mike? I like how much you're thinking about this. I don't even answer. I'm just joking around.
Okay. I don't think I'm in a position to say.
I think you are. I think you just have to be brave. You have to be brave.
No, I've only seen people through a tiny little window. I think I can be fair to Mike. I don't know if I can be fair to Chris.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I understand.
I've seen Mike in real life. I've seen Mike naked.
I've seen Mike. I saw Mike naked today, actually.
I haven't seen him naked in a while.
I'll send you a photo next time he's naked in front of me. One of my favorite.
Update my image.
Okay. You have a child. How long did it take your wife to give birth to your child? Like, how long was the labor? Like, how long did it take?
14 hours, something like that. Like a good chunk of time.
You know how long it took Dan to come out of his mother, Dan Hammond-Mora, our current FIFA player?
No.
20 minutes.
What's so beautiful?
He was dropped off at the hospital. His mom was dropped off at the hospital, and 20 minutes later, he was out of there. He was so excited to come and join our planet on November 21st, 1981. It's his 40th birthday this year.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
It's the first gift he ever gave to his mother.
And then, do you know what? He went to the same high school as Obama. He went to Punahou in Hawaii. Yeah.
12 years later or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Obama. Yeah.
I think he probably wanted to like come out there quick because he was like, oh, there's a guy who's going to be president for my school. Maybe I can beat him to it. But he was too late. He was
You got to be really quick. He wasn't eligible. Yeah. Dan wasn't eligible yet at the time that Obama was elected.
No, exactly.
That's a shame. You can't. It's not a fair race, to be honest.
No, Dan would also make a great president. He is like super even keeled. He's very intelligent. He's one of those people who like when he speaks, it's like it's coming out right. He's not like me, like a high quantity talker who hopes to like out of the 100 things that I say, 2 things are right. Dan's like says the right thing. It's an impressive quality in a person. Mike wants to know about the chip stacks.
We launched into this like a lot of aspects that were non-poker. I was hoping to set up some side bets with you on who is going to get knocked out first, or who is going to win, or how long the national anthem was going to be, like they do at the Super Bowl, and we didn't really get any of those set up.
I mean, I'll make a side bet with you, like based on let's see what's going on. So like who's in the lead right now? Is it Nick?
Nick is the biggest chip stack right now.
Oh no, those mothers, I mean, those teen mothers are going to be stoked. So I mean, like, if this is early, we're early baseball. This is like 20 minutes in. So do you want to make a bet? Do you want to like make a bet for like who's going to take it all? Even though there's no way we can predict that at this point. Just me and you.
Yeah, I'll put 5. I mean, if neither of us wins, then we just get our $5 back. But
yeah,
I'll put my 5 on Chris.
Okay, I'm going to put my 5 on Kevin.
Ooh, I like it. Kevin's had a good, in the regular Tuesday night game, he's had a good season so far. I don't remember if he's leading the pack or in second, but he's right up there.
He's a little freak. He's like one of those people who's just like, I'm going to learn something, and then he just learns it, which actually I feel like you're a little bit like that too. Kevin's
a little brutal. So I've definitely played poker for longer than Kevin, though he's having a good run. He's played chess for longer than me, and we're playing chess on the side, and it's not that it's not fun, it's just that it's hopeless.
Because he's too good?
Yeah, he's good. He's good at chess, and that makes it's a humbly, like, it's hard to get into that learning space where you're like, it's okay, I'm going to lose. I'm going to try to learn some stuff from it. But I gotta find that space to enjoy it. It's brutal.
I think it comes from a very young place. Like, I think that you, based on what I know about your relationship with Mike, which is one that was like you guys goofing around in Alaska, like a bunch of little punks. Like, Kevin had a very lonely childhood with like, he was very misunderstood in his own family. So I think that like that, when you're misunderstood in your own family, you sort of like become an autodidact because you're like, I've got to distract myself with things that are around me because my family is, it's his core wound, I would say. Something that I love to bring up in the poker game. What is your core wound?
I think it's an absolute similarity, but like I taught myself stuff in Alaska for a long time.
What?
Sorry?
Because you were lonely?
Because it's Alaska, yeah.
You have to be lonely in Alaska. It's like, it's the loneliest state.
Yeah, I think it is.
Right? It has to be.
So everyone has trash except Jay, who has kings. This is an interesting case. The blinds go up every 10 minutes, by the way. So they started at being 15.30, and then they were 25.50, and now they're 35 and 70. So it's 70 just to play.
I don't know what a blind is. What is that?
Let's talk about that. So when everyone gets cards, you can't just check and get to see more cards for free. There are forced bets that make it so that if you want to continue to play, you at least have to call the big blind. So right now, as cards got dealt, Chris automatically bet 35. Kevin automatically bet 70. And Drew called the 70 with his 7-6 offsuit. And Jay raised it to 405. So he won the blinds and he won Drew's bet. But, no one else sort of wanted to pay to see more cards. Seeing everyone's cards like this, you really realize how much of the time there's a pair out there.
It's crazy. Like, did you see the way that Nick just had a pair? He had pocket kings, and then that transferred immediately over to Bo. It's like the cards just dropped into Bo's hand, which makes me think that, like, do computers have gravity?
No, I've done this myself to internalize this. Just deal out 9 hands or 10 hands or however many people you think you're playing with, and clear them off, and then do it again and do it again and do it again, and see where see what the distribution is, and even deal out flops, deal out the board, deal out a flop, turn, and river, and see like, would my pocket kings have held up? Like right now, Bo's got pocket kings, and he could absolutely be afraid of any ace beats him.
Right.
With 2 aces on the board, so
he got it.
Like had Jay called with his ace 4, which is a shitty hand, he would have totally dominated and won a whole bunch of chips off of Bo. Here's an ace king versus an ace 7. Tatiana's going to be like, I want to play. I have an ace. But she doesn't know there's a huge, that she's dominated by an ace king across the table.
I think what you're saying was like very fundamental to like to poker, which is like, you just don't know.
To poker and what else? Wait, generalize that. I'm interested in that.
Let's be honest, life. You never know. You never know who's holding a pair of pocket aces.
I like that.
With your dick swinging around, and you're like, I got pocket kings, and then you know who you're gonna run into. Who's got pocket aces? Look at this. Look at Kyle. But like, ace and king feels good, right? But there's nothing. There's nothing else.
Nobody hit anything except Tatiana, who's. This doesn't look that good. Kyle, nope, no play at it from Kyle.
Who invented cards?
I think you don't think that's outside the scope of this conversation. I don't know.
You seem like the type who might know who invented cards.
God, and you're right, though. I am the type who should know that kind of thing. God damn it. Maybe the producers will tell us.
You come in here and you're just like, you can do all of the poker talk, and it's like, I'm just asking you to go a few steps back and tell me who invented cards.
Just go deep into history and talk about, where cards came from.
Like, did they come from Egypt? Did they come from Europe? Here we go. All right, some historians say poker's origins can be traced to a domino card game played by a 10th century Chinese emperor. Others claim it is a descendant of the Persian card game Aznaz, which dates back to the 16th century. Poker's closest European predecessor was poke. Or poke.
Can we call it poke?
Okay, well, it would be pronounced.
I know, but I don't know if it was spelled correctly there either. So from the 17th century.
I way more buy that it's either from China or the Persian Empire, because it's just there was a lot of stuff that they were like, we know we're going to do money now, for example. They're like, we're going to do coins. We're going to do fireworks. I'm mainly talking about China here. Let's see. Undoubtedly the Persian game of Aznaz. I buy that. What are you thinking? Are you Googling something, Josh?
No, I'm thinking about.
Were you thinking about?
I'm ignoring you and thinking about the game and people's play style. Like Nick right here has this hand where he could make he does nothing, but he could make a straight with a king or an 8. There's the art of playing hands that aren't made yet, that are nothing but have a lot of potential to improve I think is really fascinating.
What do you mean? Like, so wait, what's Nick doing? Why is he's got nothing?
So I think there's kind of you're right. He had nothing and he won that hand. There's kind of an art to figuring out what you do with a hand that if it improves, if you get a card or the card that you need, that you'll be dominant, that you're almost sure to win. How do you play that? Do you play that to maximize the size of the pot so that if like you do win, you win a huge pot? Do you play it to chase other players out and win it before you make your hand? Do you play like you're strong? Do you just kind of limp in and call and be sort of passive so you can see if you improve for as cheaply as possible? Like those are all options. And I just think it's interesting to see how people navigate that space. So like right now, Kevin is one card away from a flush, but he hasn't hit the board at all. He has 4 diamonds and they're small. So someone could have bigger diamonds, but probably not. But he doesn't have a 6. He doesn't have an ace. And so he could have made a raise there to represent a bigger hand. He's calling to try to see if he improves. I just think these are the most interesting hands.
Do you think that like people who play poker professionally know the like percentage odds of like basically every hand they get? Like, are there's like crazy like math heads?
There's not even that much to memorize. No, you don't have to be a math head. You just have to memorize some things. It's not that hard. I haven't done it. I've done it a tiny bit. Like I know that if you have one card to come, like now, right now, Kevin has about a 20% chance of getting a diamond.
Okay.
It's not 25 because even though 1 in every 4 cards in the deck is a diamond, 4 of them have already been burned, right? 4 of them are already, we can already see 4 of them. Right. So there's only 9 of them left. And he's seen 6. So out of 46 cards that are unknown to him, 9 are diamonds. So it's just under 20% that he gets a diamond.
And so he needs this flush or else Bo will win. Oh my God.
Yes, but he bet at it and took it down without making the hand, which is great.
Good job, Kevin. Oh, now wait, Nick's still yeah, Nick is still. Hold on, is Nick playing 2 hands?
Sorry?
Is Nick playing 2 hands?
No, I don't understand the question, but the answer is no.
Like there's a Nick hand that's on top of Nick, and there's a Nick hand that's like on the side of Nick.
That the one on the side was Kyle's, I think. I think it's just a little crowded out there.
Oh, I see. I got it. Okay, yeah, that's all right. It's a poorly designed table. No, I understand.
A little bit.
All right, Nick.
Nobody has anything, and that can be interesting.
What's the deal with like why Nick is? I feel like Nick wins a lot in this poker game. Is that true?
I think Nick has high variance. I think Nick plays to like accumulate a lot of chips quickly or bust out pretty quickly too, because he'll play a lot of hands and he'll put a lot of chips behind him, and that can totally win, but it can also, you run the risk of busting.
He's fast and loose, is what you're saying.
Fast and loose. God, why didn't I say it that way?
Well,
because I'm not the writer here.
One of us is a professional, Hollywood stamped and approved professional writer. Drew is a loser. He's a loser tonight so far.
So far, I've seen Drew come back from very little.
Oh, really?
You know who I've seen? Chris, when he is short stacked, as they say, when he's like got less than everyone else, I've seen play some of the most disciplined poker and like wait for his chance to get back in it, and it's a real skill.
That's so interesting. That's like like a sports grinder or whatever. Just the person who can like come up from behind. They're like, fuck it, I'm in tennis, like I'm gonna make it a 5-setter now. I lost the first 2. I'm gonna grind it out until the end.
Oh, I think that's really comparable. It's like, how do you refuse to give up and you just wait your turn and press your advantage. That's really good. So that's a good analogy. I always wonder when you're down 2, like on those televised tennis matches, when someone's down 2 sets, they're like, it would be easy to give up now. You're probably not going to win.
So hard. It's like the basketball playoffs. If you're down a couple games, if you're down 3 games, for example, it's like no one's coming back from that except for the team that's like, fuck it, we're going to try.
Wait, I think no one ever has. Or did that record get broken?
Impossible. That's impossible.
No, for a long time, and this may have just broken, but in the NBA, no team had come back from a 3-0 deficit. I think it's still true, unless it might have happened in the last year or 2.
I feel like it's happened. I feel like I saw it happen.
I'm going to Google that one because I care about the NBA. NBA come back from 3-0.
It happened. I feel like it happened in
It's never happened in the NBA.
Oh my gosh, you're right. You are right.
It's happened in the NHL, but I don't care.
You don't care about the NHL.
I'm sorry, I don't care at all.
That's okay. It's fine. I only care about the NHL because we had season tickets to the Nordiques when I was a teenager. Do you remember the Nordiques? The Quebec Nordiques? No.
Do I remember?
They were from the mid-90s. It was a team. We don't need to get into hockey. We're not on the hockey rink right now.
I wish we wouldn't.
I don't want to make you feel bored or uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable talking about hockey.
It's interesting.
You know, I never really learned to ice skate. My good friend Carly Bear was a hockey player. And
let's see what it is. You're an Alaskan who never learned how to ice skate.
And she invited me to a birthday party on the rink, and I was just like, I was wobbly out there, like I wasn't ever comfortable. And she's a dear, wonderful friend. And I actually visited her She still lives up there. I visited her the last time I went to Alaska to visit my family, and I'll never go again because they don't live there anymore.
That's right. They live in Portland.
They live a mile from here.
They live a mile from your house.
Do you like my plants, by the way? I kind of try to spruce up the background a little bit.
It looks great. I can see. Is that a Diefenbachia behind you? Like, do you know what kind of plant that is? Like the one that I'm seeing on this one.
You went directly to outclassing me in plant knowledge, but I appreciate it. Yes, of course it's a Diefenbachia.
It's a plant. It's a plant. It's alive. It's not fake.
That hand was a shame. Sorry. Kevin had pocket eights, and he made trip eights on the flop, and he just didn't get any action. Like, I didn't see what he bet. Maybe he overbet it, but like, you really want to be in there trying to build a pot. So there's so many different things you can do with betting, and that's why it's interesting. You can use it to build a pot. Okay. You can use it to get information. You can use it to win a pot. You can even use it to like freeze the betting. You're like, my hand kind of sucks, but it has a way to improve, and I don't really want to get bet out of it. So I'll bet a modest amount, and maybe no one raises that. You set the price.
Okay.
What else can you use it for? Those are some of the things I can think of. But I just think that's the act of interpreting like what that bet means is so much of poker.
It just seems like a level of communication that one can do in real life, like through like in the way that like intuition works in ways, or you can bring it to the poker table. And I wonder if, you know how like when you go to a heavy metal show and like you see all the guys on the stage and they're just really like pulling their hearts out and screaming their brains out, and then you meet them backstage after and you're like, these are the nicest people in the entire world, because everything's been left on the stage in terms of like anger, wounding, etc. I just wonder if like people applied, like if the men in the World Series of Poker applied the logic that they applied at the table to women or the world, if we would be.
You mean like really aiming to like understand and interpret and like put yourself in their shoes and empathize and translate.
You're describing like monetized compassion basically right now. Like,
sorry, Drew's all in on his club flush draw. He got a little bit, and he hit it. He called a large pre-flop bet with garbage.
Mm-hmm.
He called the $100 big blind, which I was like, why'd you call that? And then it got raised, and he called that. And then he made a 4 flush on the flop. He had 4 clubs, and then he called all in, hoping he got another club, and he hit it. So he is still alive. And people are parity. Everyone has about 3,000 chips. Bo's a little up.
Bo's up.
Dan's a little down, but it's like pretty even. No knockouts now that we're even in the fourth level of blinds. What were we talking about? I was going to bring it back.
I was talking about how the way that you were describing, like poker intuition and poker logic. I feel like if it was applied, like if the people who played poker were able to apply the same sort of like monetized compassion but like just as normal compassion to real life, how that might be a nice thing.
Maybe we need to figure out how to monetize compassion in real life.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because it's like, men don't want to do it because they don't have to, because they just do what they want anyway. But what if we paid men more money to be nice?
Yeah, you probably want a carrot and a stick. You also want to, pay them less money when they're not.
What if we turn emotions into is emotions an NFT?
It reminds me of like the Cory Doctorow science fiction where there's like reputation markets.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the thing? Do I have a mute button so I can clear my throat? I do. Like there's a like civic score that you can get, or oh gosh, another huge hand. Sorry.
Oh, look at all these queens and things. I mean, there's just
the ace king versus the flush.
Oh, right.
So there's a straight possible, there's a flush possible, there's a full house possible, and Kyle has top pair, top kicker, and he laid it down. Good lay down. There's too many hands that beat Kyle there, even though he has a monster hand. I was going to say, in China, there's a system, I don't know how widespread it is, where like you lose civic points for like minor infractions like jaywalking, and obviously we're like, that's a sort of surveillance. You can't do the system without a surveillance state, so you have to accept that you're okay with that.
No, it's true. I mean, it's the problem. It's the problem with trying to regulate anything very large. It's like everything would be fine if it was small and everyone could, and we could use shame as like a pro-social regulatory method. But I don't think that works with anything more than like two people.
It works in small communities. Like gossip and shame works really well in small communities. It doesn't work in Los Angeles.
Completely. All of those, like all of the things that we hate in a big community, like gossip and shame, don't work in big. They're
wow. Jay's not going to make any money on this. Kevin's going to get the hell out. What's the thing? Do you know the book, The Pattern Language, where they talk about architecture all the way from a like sconce, is that the word, to a like mega city, and all the different layers and the ways that these patterns apply? I think one of the things that it has in mind is a like community being like about 150 people, being like how many you can kind of know and manage. And it feels like the dorms, or, you know, certain small villages, or
islands. Like, I'm reading Lewis Hyde's The Gift right now, and that's exactly what he talks about, how like anything larger than I think around 150 is like untenable, because we don't know what to do, because you got to know everyone, and you have to care, because knowing everyone is, you got to care about them.
It has to matter. Exactly.
Okay, so the person who is winning now, I'm gonna call the poker game now, and this is how I can do it.
Man,
Bo is up. He's the winner, and everyone else is medium, and Kyle is
fine. He's a little under. Bo's got double the average chip size, chip stack, because the average chip stack is 3,000. And Bo's
called the chip leader, the person who's leading.
Yeah, you can call him that.
I have a story about chips and Dan.
Lay it on me.
I asked him if he had ever beaten anyone up, because Dan's one of those people who's like, he's so quiet. You're sort of like, are you like secretly tough, and would you kill someone? Whenever I acquire a new male friend, in the back of my mind, I'm like, would you kill somebody for me or not? I have one friend who I know would, because he did try to do that once for me in 2014, my friend Adam, and he tried to kill an MMA fighter in Croatia. And anyway, but so Dan, I was like, I wonder if he would kill somebody. And so I asked him, I was like, have you ever beaten anyone up? And so he came close when he was in high school. And this leads back to chips. He had a friend who was annoying him, and because he had a bag of chips, not poker chips, but actual like
Lay's
food chips, exactly. And so he was
sorry, hang on, hold it for a second. We have an all-in from Nick, and we're gonna come back to the chips.
Yeah, I'll tell you the chip story.
No one's gonna call him. It's okay. No one has a good enough hand to call him. And so he had a bag of chips.
It's not a great payoff. Basically, like Dan was like, listen, if you mess with my chips, I'm going to throw your CD player into the wall. And then because they were in high school, the kid, his friend, smashed his bag of chips. And so Dan did it. He threw the kid's CD player right into the wall, which I think is like,
you have to.
Pretty cool. And then they started to wrestle, and they wrestled, but none of them were like strong enough to actually like overtake the other. So they wrestled to draw. And then and what was amazing was that the person who broke up the fight, it was happening like in his school, was the wrestling coach.
Was Barack Obama.
Was Barack Obama himself, who was also the wrestling coach at the time of Punahou High School. And the wrestling coach broke them up. And they didn't get in trouble, and they're still best friends to this day.
And the wrestling coaches, you two got the stuff. We're recruiting you for the team.
And the wrestling coach died of a heroin overdose many years later. Now, I don't know what happened to the coach. I didn't ask, but so yeah, Dan's only ever wrestled with a friend in high school. I was really hoping that he would have told, he was like, I actually think murder should be legal, and we'd have a story about that. Have you ever killed anyone?
If I don't know why I would tell you that on a live stream.
What if it was an accident, though?
I don't know how to tell you that. You know what? If I did kill someone by accident, I'd be like really scarred by it. Like there was a great article in the Atlantic just like last week about about killing someone with your car, which is something I think about a lot. I think I'm probably a lot likely to be on the receiving end of that.
I did that in 2001. A man jaywalked in front of my car, and I hit him and I killed him.
Oh, well, there you go. Like, just you might find the article enlightening. I think the process, like, it was saying that we don't talk about those people very much who like suffer through processing that, and it's a lot.
It's very strange because it's like it means you have to process accidents in a really meaningful way, and it's like life is full of them. It's what the worst part about that is that like it reveals the layer of the world where you're like you could die at any moment or you could kill at any moment.
But like I consider like this is going to an extreme, I think, but like I consider it more ethical to not drive than to drive because of the small but real risk that I might kill someone when I drive.
It's a 2-ton hunk of metal that you're blasting around on the roads with.
Do you know that electric cars are heavier than gas cars? So when they hit someone, they're likelier to kill them. It's like a gnarly truth about electric cars.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I've always thought I'm like, because sometimes when I'm in a dark mode, I'm like, if we were to balance out the scales, shouldn't I be killed by a car or should I be maimed by a car? Which I feel like would be more hard, So maybe it's better. Maybe it's better if you just like end it.
And what? I lost the plot.
One's life with the car instead of the in-between state of like almost killing somebody.
Sorry, this hand is a little bit interesting. Kevin has second pair, top kicker. Bo had a flush draw, second pair, garbage kicker, and he missed his flush draw, so he had to bail out. Yeah, he just had to bail. He had to hit the brakes. If he went all in, Kevin would have folded, though, I think. Because there's a king out there, but Bo had no way to know. Boy, everyone has a bad hand here except Chris.
From car accidents. I'm happy we're back to the poker game. How many people are watching us right now? Like, how many people just heard that part of like that part?
A couple dozen.
A couple. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I hope they found it entertaining.
You took us there.
Okay, I will always take us there. My joy in the world is to take us there. God, Nick. Wait, why did Nick win with such a shitty? Wait, was that who's little? Oh no, it was. Sorry, I thought that someone was winning something, but there's no actual flop on the table, so no one's winning anything.
Nope. So Kevin won that one and took a big chunk out of the chip leader, Bo, and so that's exciting. Who's hanging on for their life here? Yeah. No one really. Kyle and Morgan, but so that 450 right there for Morgan is a quarter of his stack. He has top pair and a good kicker. Nick has an inside straight draw. Only a 9 can help him. Nick is...
What are the chances of getting a 9? Like 1 in a million?
1 in 17 on a given card, I think.
Oh, look, right? It was almost, there was an 8. That's almost a 9.
No, 1 in 13, because it's not like if you're trying to make, anyway, 1 in 13.
Oh, okay.
But he did improve. He did make a pair. So if he thinks Morgan has nothing, he raised all in. And Morgan called. Good call, Morgan. Tatiana will cackle at this point appropriately because her nemesis had a big loss.
Nick did. Oh my God, Nick's super down now. He was
down now. He
was on top of the world.
Took a big risk that Morgan would fold under the pressure, but he did not. And that puts Morgan in second place overall. We didn't make a bet. You know what? The bet I wanted to make, other than the length of the national anthem, was who would go out first. And we can't make that bet now, of course.
I know. I mean, I'm sorry for all those young women who want to keep their babies, but it looks like they're not going to get any help tonight.
He could come back. But what was I going to say? The structure is different from usually in this game. Most of these players play a Tuesday night game where if you go out within about the first hour, you can pay another buy-in and get a chip stack back. And some players rely on that. Usually we'd have some folks drop out or not drop out, but rebuy by now, go broke and rebuy. And so I think there's a certain conservatism, but Nick didn't show any conservatism. Morgan is flashing some kind of piano keyboard. I don't know if that's part of his poker game. Oh, he is jamming. If only to be on the Zoom right now.
What's he doing? Is he okay?
We'll never know.
It's
Do you know who Morgan is? I don't know who Morgan is.
I met Morgan once. At Claire Evans's 30th birthday. He's a lot younger than everyone we hang out with. I feel like he might even still be in his 20s, or like.
Is he in the show business?
He is. He's a writer director, and I think he's just sort of just being in Hollywood, making things that never get to screen in the way that we do. You can make a whole career in Hollywood by writing things that never make it to the screen.
Which is fascinating. Fascinating.
A lucrative, difficult career of never seeing your name on that tiny screen. But no, he's a really nice person. He's a curious guy. I met him on the balcony of a hotel room at the Chateau Marmont, the famed LA institution, where if you're not doing a giant rail of cocaine off a piano, I don't know what you're doing at the Chateau Marmont. I wasn't doing a giant roll of cocaine off a piano when I met him, but I found him totally charming. And
so, it does odds here. They could tie. They still could tie. Nick went all in with ace 9 and got called by ace 4 by the big stack. Like, Kevin didn't necessarily think he was ahead, but he thought it made sense to call because you could knock a player out. And he could afford it. Nick got back in and about tripled up too.
Those fetuses will live to see another day, potentially. It's going to be hard not to make fetus jokes for the next 2.5 hours, but I'm going to try not to.
It's fair game.
You're really right. It is so interesting to be like, you got an ace and a 4 with Dan, and then you got an ace and an 8 right below him with Tatiana, and you feel like a king when you have an ace.
No, you're picking up though that the factor of like how many chips you have in front of you matters a lot though. Too. Right. Like when Nick pushes all in and Kevin's like, well, I have an ace. Nick could have almost anything. Nick could have Jack 10, Yeah. And so Kevin's like, it doesn't cost me that much. I might knock a player out. I might win 600, 1,200 chips because there are other players in it. And I have 6,000 in front of me. And so like, you're not just playing your cards, you're playing your stack. And that matters a lot.
Yeah.
Nick got aces. So he's playing against a bunch of bad hands, one other ace and pocket 7. So nickel raise. So fun to get aces. So there's kind of a standard size bet that shifts across the night, Catherine. The big blind is 150 and he made it 3 times the big blind.
Right. You'll
see that a lot, like throughout the night. When the big blind's 500, someone will be like, okay, 1,500. And so it's kind of a standard size raise. It's a little bit hard to interpret. You don't know what it means.
So basically, like, you got pocket aces and you're like, am I going to play it cool so I can like bait someone into believing that they are going to get in some kind of big battle with me? Speaking as somebody who's played poker 8 times while incredibly drunk and can't remember anything that happened, and like a couple times while sober, I asked this question.
So in pocket aces against like 5 hands will probably lose. So one thing you actually want to do is narrow the field. And he didn't bet enough to chase out pocket 7s, which hit their long shot, chance to improve. So he has almost no chance to win now. In fact, he's at 5% and he's about to lose. Because he didn't bet enough to chase out pocket 7s. You want to play against someone. You want someone to call you so you can get their money. It's a.
You want to be like, listen, guys, don't even bother right away.
It's a tough spot. You want King 10 to call you. You want something that like really can't improve in a way that if they improve, they beat you. It's tough. That was a good catch. The one in 17 is your chance of improving. God, now I got to look it up. I'm talking nonsense. There's you got to know these odds. Like, what are the chances that you improve on the flop to 3 of a kind when you have a pocket pair? I want to say it's 1 in 17.
I never know that. I never want to be a person who knows that. I want to be a person who plays poker by only my guts and no guile whatsoever.
And I want to play with that player.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
It's fun because it's fun. A big weird useless dick swinging player. That's a fun player.
They're the best.
That's great. That's great to know. It's nice to know that like you can buy in, and even if you lose, you've provided entertainment for the table.
It's hard to balance the like rational, like I want to maximize my chance to win in the context of poker, which is about that, with like I want to maximize fun and have so like they're not exactly in conflict, but there's multiple things to think about.
Did I ever tell you about the time I won $11,000 at the roulette table in Vegas? No. And I started with $40. It was one of those things where it was me and the serious boyfriend I had before Mike, even though was there even a serious boyfriend before Mike? But
he's the most serious.
We went home together, so it was very serious. And we went to Vegas and we were like, oh, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go and bet with $40, and then the $40 over the course of like a few hours turned into $2,700, and we were doing a thing where like, when we were up like 120, we'd take like the 20 and then bet with that. So there was always like a little kitty of money that we were saving for ourselves. And at the end of the night, we were up $2,700. And then we were about to leave Vegas in the morning. We were like, we can't do this anymore. But then we're like, oh, but if we like split that, it's like $700 hanging off the $2,700 thing. So let's go bet with that $700. And a few hours after that, it was $11,000.
Jesus.
And it was my second year. And it was like the first year we were in Los Angeles. And I was like, oh, this can be our career. We can just come to Vegas every day.
Figured it out.
Every day and just win $11,000. We'll be so rich. But it apparently doesn't work like that at all.
Let's track this hand here. Two players hit a king. And Tatiana made a small bet. I actually thought Kyle was going to bet into this because he has a decent kicker. But they're both so short stacked, they're playing a little scared. So there we go. So he wanted to check raise. Tatiana has the top pair and a low kicker. And it's for almost all her stack. This is a very hard. She calls it. They could tie. Her best look is a tie here. That's the nope.
Oh no. So full house for Kyle.
Wow. Overkill.
Is Tatiana dead now?
She's
nearly dead.
She's nearly dead.
Gosh, that's a fun win for Kyle. Good for Kyle. Bo's killing it. Look at that. It's Bo and Kev up. Who did I bet on for the who do I win $5 off you for? Is it Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan's doing fine too.
So Tatiana's all in for just more than the blind. She has a good shot at this.
Oh no, Dan's going away. I don't want Dan to go away.
Tatiana's got a monster lead. Tatiana is probably going to win this hand and be at like 600 something.
She's gonna kill my work husband.
They're checking it down. Tatiana's going to win the pot triumphantly. So a thousand's real. 225 was not real. She's real now. Get out, Tatiana. Fold. Oh, so what's tough there is she's got the worst position. She's the first to act after the blinds, and so she has to call 200, not knowing if any of the people after her might raise. And so you don't really want to go all the way with a hand like Ace 2. But if you're at the very end of the action, calling with it is more okay. You know what I mean?
Not really.
Well, like she has a small stack and a weak hand, and you can call with that if you don't think anyone's going to push you all in. But she didn't know that yet. Anyway, she's going to fold here.
She can't know that because she doesn't know what anyone else has.
No, but if she's last to act, if she's, say, the dealer, then everyone's already done whatever they're going to do. And then she has more information at the time of choosing to call or fold. Does that make sense? She just didn't have much information yet.
That makes sense.
No good hands out there this time. Well, Kevin is losing it about something. We don't have their chat.
The way that Dan became someone who was interested in gambling was via Pogs in the 90s, which were then outlawed from his school. Do you remember when Pogs hit like a big fever pitch with Pogs? We were like a chip.
It's the thing you kind of press on and flip?
Yes. And they had different there were different like thematic Pogs.
Hang on, we got an all-in situation with Dan here. Bo's considering whether he's going to join. I'm not going to say whether he should. I was going to say he shouldn't. Now he didn't. Dan's got a decent chance at this. He'd be like 40%. Yeah.
I hope.
Ooh, Dan has a straight draw now. He has 10, Jack, Queen, King. He needs an ace or a 9 or a pair, and he misses everything. He had a lot of outs.
Dan's
a lot of
dead.
outs. Sorry, Dan.
No, Dan.
Nobody had a hand, but your nobody hand was worse.
Oh no, he just went away. I hate seeing Dan go away.
And you just get vaporized.
It's just the worst. God. Dan's probably like a person who has like the greatest pedigree at this table. He got into USC, UCLA, Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, Northwestern.
He got into 5 schools.
Yes, Dan is so intelligent. He went to Obama.
Did he go to all those schools?
Yes, he went to all of those schools. He attended every single one of those colleges after going to Obama's high school. And Dan drives a 2004 Toyota Highlander. Dan is 5'11.5", just like Jake Gyllenhaal is. Dan's my guy, and now he's gone. Very sad. I think we should bring Dan on. I think we should do an exit interview with him.
Drew just flopped us straight here with 2 garbage cards. He had 9, 6, and everything just filled in for him perfectly. Morgan bet with a pair and a straight draw, which is reasonable. That's a nice, that's great.
I don't care about any of the players anymore. I'm too.
No, you don't have Dan. I'm sorry. Well, you didn't bet on Dan now, did you?
I did not bet on Dan. Not because I don't believe in Dan, but it was more I bet on Kevin because of the fact that because of the MacArthur Park Mutual Aid Fund that I hope that he wins money for.
Oh, cool.
It makes cooking for our friends easier. Apparently, we'll get an exit interview with Dan in 15 minutes. So we'll ask him what happened, how he felt.
Is that how it's going to work? Do we get to do that?
Yeah.
Your affection for Dan is meaningful, and I appreciate it.
My guy. Dan's like, he's one of those people who's like, we met once before we started the room on July 14th. We had an in-person socially distanced meeting. And I always see like, who am I orienting myself towards? Like, that's when I know that like, I have like a homing device for good people. And then I went straight to Dan. And then I made a joke about how sometimes I get diarrhea when I eat too much Szechuan food. And then he was like pretty disgusted. And I was like, oh, I don't think we're going to be friends. But we became very good friends.
There you go. What show are you working on?
The CW's Kung Fu.
CW Kung Fu, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Tatiana's all in with an overpair, which is great. Oh yeah, Tatiana's sailing. There's a thing you do in a tournament that you're not allowed to say out loud, but there's a way of colluding that they were just engaging in.
What do you mean? How do you collude in a tournament?
You may not make an agreement with any other player to behave a certain way. You can't say, don't.
Survivor.
Sorry?
You mean like Survivor? Like when Survivor, you know how like the first person won Survivor, Richard.
There are no alliances allowed in poker.
Exactly, yes. There are no
both players, both Bo and Kevin, who are major, have big stacks, were not betting at all because they didn't know what each other had, and they didn't care if the other person won. They didn't want to bet out the other person. They wanted one of them to win, either one, so that Tatiana would be knocked out. And she had because like if you had a 10, it turned out that would have made 3 of a kind 10s, and they didn't know whether the other had 10s. But that gives them the best chance to knock out a tournament player. And so they did that. You can't say it; it's against the rules. But you can do it.
You put down your like World Series of Poker shades, and you're like, how do you do it?
You don't have to indicate it. You just do it. You just check it down. You just check it all the way down, and that's what they did. And it didn't work, but it's cool. It's like right. It's correct tournament play.
I mean, listen, who am I to say what is correct tournament play? I'll just take your word for it.
Well, it's less important to make a few chips off Tatiana than it is to knock out a player for someone who wants to cash. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone who wants to finish in the top. I'm
going to ask Dan.
Our producers say Dan can join us.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Dan to join us.
That would be great.
And then we can grill him. And maybe we can get some more Dan facts as well.
You have most of them.
I mean, I think I kind of burned through my Dan facts. What's kind of interesting about it is that like I feel like one of the first Dan facts that I gave was that he arrived very early on the scene in terms of his birth, and he pieced out really fast from this game.
Let's check this. Jay raised with pocket jacks. Tatiana re-raised all in with pocket tens. Chris is thinking about what to do with king queen suited. He folds. Everyone else is going to fold, I think. They don't have any reason to play. And Jay's going to call Tatiana all in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to predict this thing. I just wait 10 seconds and it happens. But she needs to make runner straight or see one of the two cards in the deck that says a 10 on it. An 8 or a 10 now would win it for her. And she finds the 8 and survives. And Jay is crippled. Jay absolutely did the right thing, but that is how the cards will go. Wow.
I'm glad. Wow, she's really back too. Good for Tatiana. Look, she looks like she's crying.
Thanks for letting me bring us back into the poker right there. That I think it paid off.
No, did you? You had a good intuition about like what was going down.
It was a moment. So the blinds are pretty big right now. 250 if you're a small stack. If you have 2,000 or 3,000 is a real chunk of your stack. And it makes a little more pressure. So Jay's all in. Jay got a good hand for a short stack. Ace Jack is about the best. Not the best, but is a good hand to be in that situation on. And he improved. He's leading. Jay at the most can make 2,300 here. These other players could bet at each other. We'll see what happens. Now Jay's behind to Morgan, who has 2 pair. And it's going to be Morgan may not agree to just checking it down to knock out a player. And in fact, he doesn't. Too many high cards for Drew to hang. Yeah.
If we Nick might be gone after this hand.
I'm sorry, Nick is long gone.
Wait, what do you mean Nick is long gone?
Nick was the first out. Jay just got knocked out.
Yeah, Dan was knocked out.
Dan was knocked out second. Nick is out. Dan is out, and now Jay is out.
Yeah, I was just saying. I was trying to do like a here's what's happening right now. Nick's about to. Are you in a different like stream than I am? Are you looking at a different poker game? Nick,
I don't know what you mean.
Oh no, Jessica's here. Is she playing poker?
No, she's just bringing beer. So that is proof that. Oh wait, so let's make sure we're looking at the same thing. Do you see King Ace 8 on the board right now?
We're totally looking at the same thing. I think maybe like
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, but Nick's gone.
Nick's gone. We're down to 7.
All right,
so now what does that mean? The average chip stack size is. I can't do the math.
So Dan's going to join us in 1 second. He's backstage, and let's give Dan a little spotlight. Which means we'll probably have to ignore the poker that's going on, unless it's like super clutch. But here we go. Here's
Dan. Hey,
hello.
Dan.
Hello.
Dan, this is Josh, the other host.
We played, a few weeks ago.
We played together, but I learned so much about you from Catherine's delightful commentary.
Yeah. So Dan, what happened?
I played some terrible poker tonight. Is what happened.
Oh.
Did you come in with a strategy that failed you, or were you like going like fast and loose?
No, I think I'd have to like think about it a little bit more, but the way that I tend to play is real bad if like I don't have anything I feel like I can play with, and then the cards that I did decide I'm going to play, then I'll get gun shy or like there's one hand I know I should have pushed harder and I didn't, and I think I had like an ace 7 and I got or ace mid something and I got pushed off like my mid pair when I should have stayed. And that was kind of when, like at that point, I was short stacked. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble.
So you were kind of in the situation where you're like, I've gotten so few hands to play, and then when you get one to play, you're like, you either take it too far or you're too cautious with it. I totally have that.
Yeah,
like, I find that a very tricky situation.
Yeah, and that one hand in particular, I know I mean, now that I'm out, I know that I should have. That was kind of like the one place I really should have made a stand.
Did you bail out and then watch the live stream and see the whole cards of everyone from the hand that those key hands?
I didn't see that hand, but I saw myself get kicked out. So I saw like the last few before I lost. I'm like, oh,
it's like your Tenet moment or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's actually how Christopher Nolan came up with his idea for Tenet. He's playing an online poker game.
He's actually recording this right now as like material.
Cool.
The thing is, Tenet is that like when you watch it, you're actually still in the movie Tenet for the rest of your life. That's what they don't tell you about that movie.
There's been so much talk about Tenet tonight, and I have not seen it yet. And so it's
I didn't know that.
But it's fascinating because like I feel like I still know nothing more about the movie than I would have if I hadn't heard anything about it. So it's great.
I'll tell you one thing: you won't know anything more about the movie after you watch it. It's impossible to know anything about that movie. And if you start to think about it, it's like one of those things where like it's like a poem. If you think about it too hard, it'll just fall apart, and then you're like, what is anything? So like just in terms of your not a failure of strategy, but like what happened tonight in the way that you described it, do you feel like you live the way you played in the poker game tonight?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, I should have pushed harder during that thing, but I got gun shy and didn't, and you've like missed opportunities in your emotional, psychological, and like logistical life as a result of not pushing hard when you should have.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate representation of most of my life. So I think it's fair to say that I play poker like I live, which is very, very cautiously, and not we got to wrap it up already.
The analogy of how many shots you get and whether you take them in poker, and whether you had a bad run of cards or didn't, like, I think there's a lot to probe there.
I'm pissed. Listen, I think we have to wrap it up, because our producer says we have to wrap it up now. I feel like I'm on NPR, but I'm mad. I'm mad at everyone. Mad at everyone because I feel like they weren't conspiring against you, but the cards conspired against you, and I will not rest until every last one of these people around the poker game is dead.
Well, I appreciate that, Catherine, but sometimes it happens, and also this is a really good hand that's about to happen, I think.
Oh yeah, here, let's get Dan some commentary for this.
Yeah, please come on in.
I mean, I can't give you the.
We have a classic.
I don't know how to do it anymore.
Classic pocket jacks, the cursed hand against ace king and an ace 10, which is like not dead from the get go. So this is great. The pocket jacks have to see this low board. This is a classic Tatiana underbet. It's such a small amount. With the 250 isn't a small amount, but when the pot is 2,300, it's a really small amount. It lets everyone see another card for very cheap.
Oh no!
When she probably should have bet all in and like knowing she's ahead. Why did the room owner pause the game? That's not helpful.
That feels
like maybe between hands, not in the middle of a hand.
Oh, okay. Come on.
So we do not have the ability to ask the people to change this because it literally happened 15 minutes ago. But it's a suspenseful call. It's a cliffhanger, I'll grant, but it's pretty weird.
So no one can hear us now?
No, they hear us.
No, they hear us.
This is an insane place to pause the game.
This is Mike's infinity. Man, you just got to peek behind the curtain of my entire life. Where are you going?
There's a loyalty to the clock here that might have been, overruled by a loyalty to the flow of the game.
There's a loyalty to structure sometimes. Like clock is king. That's Mike's thing. Don't worry about human emotions. Don't worry about the flow of anything. There is a rule set that Mike has established, and we're operating in the rule set.
No, I actually appreciate it because this is the most dramatic place to pause. Like legitimately.
I appreciate that.
King. Clock is king.
Like we're in a situation where I can I leave the two of you to carry the break so that I can take care of human biological conditions.
You have to. I mean, I have to also pee, but like, is everyone on break, or are we just like? I mean, you go pee, I'll carry it.
The players are on break. The audience has nowhere to go but here.
All right, I'll listen. It's fine. I talk to Dan all the time.
I'll relieve you, so you can relieve yourself in a moment.
Yeah. So what was the like scuttlebutt in the room? Like, what were people talking about?
There was a lot of
Tenet.
Yeah, it was just a lot of like miscellaneous, like it didn't seem that different than the Tuesday night game.
The normal game.
Yeah.
But it's like are the tensions like are people more tense in the room right now?
They weren't when I was there, but I don't know now. They seemed like they're just having a good time.
What about like Nick? What about Nick? Like he got vaporized.
Yeah.
What?
He was
sad when
first.
This is it. I'm about to because he was up like crazy and then he was like fucking out of there.
It just kind of I don't know. It feels like it just kind of happened really fast. Do
you think he's like considering suicide right now, or like do you think he's going to be okay?
I don't think so. He said he was going to watch the live stream, so I'm sure he's.
Okay.
So he'll hear this and be,
I don't want him. Like, I was not advocating for that in any possible way. I think it's always sad when you're participating in something and then you're no longer there because we want to be part of a community. Who's talking the most shit in there? Like, who is the person who, based on their personality, should lose?
I don't feel like I know anyone well enough to say.
What about the based on
probably Kevin? Is that right?
Oh, is Kevin just being like outrageous?
No, he was just. I mean, everyone was fine. I don't know what I'm supposed to. I'm not going to trash talk any of these people who I don't know.
I'm really trying to get you to like. Oh, I just like I want the you dirt. Like, do you feel like you have a rivalry now? If you ever come back to the Tuesday night poker game, where you're like, oh, the target's on that person's back. Like, that's the person I want to destroy.
I mean, it is probably Kevin.
It's good that it's Kevin. You're picking up on, and I don't know if I told you this on Wednesday when we hung out, but like Kevin's the shortest poker player in the game.
Kevin's what?
Kevin's the shortest poker player. Like one of the things that Dan and I had a beer on. No, oh my God, not by a long shot. Like, I mean, I don't know what anyone else is doing, but Kevin's 5'6".
Oh, that's my category.
You're the same height as me. You're like 5'8", 5'9", right?
No, like 5'7", 5'8".
Oh, interesting. Josh is a very good basketball player, Dan, just to let you know.
I was an avid basketball player 14 months ago.
He went right before COVID. A little bit. He went to Chicago for that for the All-Star, the NBA All-Star game, and he participated in a shooting competition.
I qualified in a regional qualifier to represent Portland at a shooting competition called NBA Hot Shot. It was my maximal athletic achievement. It's all downhill from there. The game is back. Sorry, hang on real quick. Tatiana, new to push here.
Another pocket jacks again. Wait, no, it's the same pocket jacks from before when Mike stopped the game in the middle of the hand, right? Okay. That's why this looks
Tatiana is like
is she in the lead
celebrating, but yeah, she's in the lead. She's reveling, I think is the word I was looking for.
I mean, she's almost dead. That's incredible.
She had 225. This is why when you said earlier, like, oh, Drew is out or Tatiana's out, like it can happen. Dan,
all right, apparently I'm going to go.
It's been lovely. Let's see you in a Tuesday night game sometime soon.
I will definitely come back.
Dan, thanks for playing. I'm mad at everyone. They'll all be dead by the end of the night. All right.
We're gonna get another ousted player. We're absolutely ready for Jay. Maybe Jay can help us look at a few hands here, though they're in his past. Well, he won't have seen them. But yeah, bring us Jay.
Bring us Jay.
Hey.
Joshua Jabbour. How do you pronounce your last name, Jay?
Jabbour. Yes, I know him from.
I go by Jay.
Are you seeing this? We got Ace King here. Yeah. Morgan's a new player to the game, and
I have not seen these hands yet. So
let's talk about Jay's feelings, though. Let's talk about Jay's feelings when he was kicked out. Like, Jay, what happened to you tonight?
I mean, I played good. I think when I got busted out, I got jacks against tens. Tatiana got lucky, got runner. Not much I can do there. More power to her.
That was how I called it. I mean, jacks over tens, like you can't, like it's where you want to be.
Yeah. No.
In fact, you're blocking some of her straights by having an adjacent. Like it's the best place for an underpair. You'd rather play jacks against tens than jacks against fives.
Yep. She got crazy lucky, but that's fine. Yeah.
What charity were you playing for tonight?
I was playing for Pair in Portland. They help homeless youth.
How?
Creative.
They're kind of interesting, right? Yeah, I was gonna say they do art-based stuff, right?
Art-based stuff for homeless youth. Yep.
Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, it's not currently great for them because you're out of the game.
No,
but
they do not get the money, but I will send them a donation anyway.
And if anyone still wins with 7 deuce, are you on the hook for $27?
I will still pay the $27 for.
I think that's very cool. Actually, this is a good chance, Jay, for us to tell our viewing audience that they can contribute to this pot and to this winner's charity, actually the top 3 charities right now, by Venmoing. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to Venmo KMikeyM my contribution. I'm going to put $100 into it. KMikeyM on Venmo, and he told me it's Cash
App.
What is it? Also KMikeyM? Also KMikeyM on Cash App. He has a monopoly on KMikeyM. You can put it in, and you should, and it will affect the payouts for our top 3. So viewers, do that now.
Go on the land.
Thank you, Aaron. That's so good.
Great.
God, that looks so pro.
Or he'll steal the money and go on the lam, which is something that I wouldn't put past him, to be honest.
He hasn't done that for the weekly poker games. We all
I think he likes the poker too much.
I think you know what? I think that his need for community is greater than his need for crime, I think.
But the pot right now is actually, I don't know. Before $100, it was $650 to the winning charity. Oh boy, I put it somewhere. $625 to the winning charity, $375 to the second place charity, and $250 to the third place charity. And so you can bump that up with your contribution. Now, I love this,
we need a thermometer.
Public broadcasting, telethon.
We need a thermometer and a marker and someone to color. Jay,
there's a 7 deuce out there right now. Sorry, let's see if the 7 deuce hit trip flop. There are going to be some people paying some charities here because Kevin is a monster favorite right now to win this pot.
Got a 1 to a flush.
Tatiana has a straight flush draw. She has a 6 or a diamond or a 6 of diamonds, makes her the absolute nuts in this hand.
Oh, man, I might owe $27 right now.
Good one. Nevertheless, Kevin is still a monster favorite. And Kevin is dead. Not totally dead. A full house could still win it for him. He now needs a 5, a deuce, or a 10 to win. And Tatiana is going to call with the almost the worst flush. Almost the worst flush. Big raise. Kevin knows what she's representing, but it's not clear if he'll be able to get away from the hand. Here we go. Here we go for all the marbles. Oh, we lost Jay.
I just said get rid of Jay, and then Jay was gone.
Jay was here with us. Comment. Oh, and he didn't hit a deuce, a 5, or a 10. An ace came. Jay's back. Jay, that was a technical error.
That's hard.
Not a banishment.
Producer here.
I have questions for Jay. I want to know who his enemy is. I
dove into the hand. Give me a question on Jay, and then we'll move to the next person.
Jay, who's your favorite? Like, who do you now that unfortunately you're gone?
Now that Kevin is out.
Kevin's
Josh
out.
is not playing. He's the overall favorite. I think Drew is not going to win. He talks a big game. It could be Bo. I don't know Morgan.
I was going to say, what do you think of Morgan's? I've never played with Morgan, but what do you think of his game so far?
I just played with him. I knew him 10 years ago in New York City, but never played poker.
Cool. He was a competitor in Ultimate Blogger Season 2 many years before that.
Really? Nice. Well, I think it could be Bo or Kyle. That's who I'd put my money on. Maybe Chris, but
even though Tatiana's dominating everything right now.
I mean, she does have quite a lead, but it can come and go real fast.
You never know, right? So your favorite is Bo or
Kyle? Short stack Kyle,
maybe Chris, but
all right.
Yep.
Do you want to make a side bet? I mean, I had money on Kevin, so I've lost that. Josh, who is your money on?
My money is still alive on Chris, who I would say is playing the disciplined way that I predicted he would.
All right, Jay, we got to get rid of you because apparently our producer.
Yeah, no worries.
But thanks,
Kevin.
Thank you for playing.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jay. See ya Tuesday. Let's bring another. Wow, they are just hot and heavy. Kevin, how you doing? How you feeling?
Goddamn loser.
Catherine's taking it personally because she bet on you. Is all.
Look,
we have $5. She had $5 on you.
Look, I'm taking
a side bet, and I put $5 on you, and you fucking failed me. And
I thought he played all right.
You failed the unhoused people I cook for every fucking weekend. So you and me are going to go into MacArthur Park, and I'm going to march you through the 250 people who get my pasta salad. And you're going to look at every single one of them in the eyes and be like, I lost. I was going to give you guys money and I lost. And that's on you, Kevin. And how are you feeling about that?
Let me put it this way. If I had to do that 100 times more, I do the same thing every time.
Okay.
Really? Wow.
Look,
that's right.
When you got 2-7 and you flop trips,
an amazing hand. You had a lot of outs. You had a lot of full house and four of a kind outs. You had a lot of outs, and you didn't know you needed any for that.
Yeah, no. It's like God tickling your ear with his breeze.
We broke into our interview with Jay to track that hand because there was so much going on there. That was brutal. We saw you call for the 7 deuce, extra glory, but you hit it. You hit it twice. You had trips.
I was very optimistic, and the fact that Tatiana hit the flush on the turn, it was bad luck, but I think also it seems like she has momentum right now, and as we all know, poker is all about momentum.
Maybe we'll see another 7 deuce hand right here.
I think that's math.
Momentum is math.
Momentum is math and science.
It's physics, math. It's physics, maps.
Physics. That's geometry.
I like the idea of exploring where there's momentum in poker, because each card should be an independent event, especially each hand. But the psychological element of momentum is very, very real.
Guys,
it does. Well, I will say that I was playing well, and then I sort of stopped playing well, which is interesting.
Why?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I just started. My stack was just kind of shrinking, and I think that was why, especially when I got to the 2-7, it felt like a good chance to put myself back on top when I had those trips. But sometimes it doesn't work out.
We asked this question to Dan during his exit interview. Do you feel like the manner in which you played tonight reflects on how you live your life, like philosophically and in action?
Yes.
Tell me how. You're stoked, you're raring to go, you trip up a little bit and then you get shy.
Well, I think what happened was I actually did feel pretty good around the middle of the game, and that feeling good, I kind of just tried to keep that going. And I hit a road bump, which you never want to hit. But I feel like I was playing as though I was going to win. That was how I was trying to play, was as though I was going to win.
I feel like that's it. That's exactly what I know of you. It's like,
yeah, I was trying,
and then you're like, I hit a fucking road bump. Like I didn't think there was going to be a bump.
I wasn't playing scared.
And Neither is Kyle in this hand right here, though he hit the bottom end of it, and is looking like he's going to sail to an improbable. Oh, and he didn't. He got snapped off the river. Kyle felt like he had to make a move on a call there.
See, this is why
he's so happy. Like I can't, having played with Tatiana once, like she's the kind of person who's very, very happy that she's winning.
She's very happy. Yeah,
she's thrilled with herself, which is amazing.
Kevin, you're going to say this is a kind of, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say that the great thing about poker is it parallels life, and that sometimes something insane happens and you need to figure out what to do about it. And I think that that's happened to all of us tonight. We've all had bad breaks, and we're all doing our best, but
I'm a little more into this poker as an analogy for life thing than I've been in the past. There's the it's not your fault. The whole Dead Poet Society. It's not your fault.
No, that was that. No, it's not your fault. Was
oh no, the other one. the Robin Williams in the one with the apples, like let's eat caramels or whatever the fuck. Goodwill Hunting. Let's go out to caramels, Catherine.
There's a good book actually about this called The Biggest Bluff by Maria Konnikova that came out this year.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
Josh read that. He loves that. He loves Maria.
Yeah, it's good, and it's very good about how the way you approach poker can be a good parallel for the way that you approach life. The thing is, in poker, sometimes you put your entire life on the line and it doesn't work out, and then you're dead. And fortunately, in real life, you don't have to do that very often.
No, it's true. It's really true. But I mean, you can die many spiritual deaths, though.
That's true.
Wonder if we should be willing to. There's a bravery in poker that maybe we need to exhibit in our lives, like to put it on the line. It's not a lot of, we got a lot of chances to put on the line, and maybe we don't.
Here's a question for you guys. What have you learned about us over the course of this game?
We've learned like what high school Dan went to.
I mean, I really, every time there was dead air, what I did was I just gave a fact about Dan Hamamura, who was my beloved colleague from Kung Fu. And so I just I had a bit of mainly people learn things about Dan. And I know so little about poker, besides the fact that it's like a game that's played with cards. And then I feel excited when I get aces. Those are my relationships with poker. I'm like, I know it's played with cards and there are aces.
At some point, we should pursue a structure in this chat where I talk about the cards and you say, I don't understand that part. And then we talk about that part and explore it and move on. Because I think there's something to that too.
Well, do you think your audience is more interested in poker as a game, or they are in, your sort of psychological analyses of the players?
I hope that it's psychological analysis.
That would be my instinct.
I don't think it's a hardcore poker audience. And so that's why I'm comfortable with the riffing.
One thing I noticed just watching this screen for the brief period of time I was in here before I was summoned was that I saw how much I touch my face and my hair, and generally am like.
It's because you haven't done like multiple hours on Zoom, and then you get really good to not ever touching your face. I have to do a very quick segue that out of Kevin into Drew, because Drew, our latest loser, will be joining us.
Wait, so we have a glimpse into the future. We have a glimpse into the future that Drew is going to be knocked out. Let's talk about what he's right here. This is incredible. Drew, you lived this. We haven't seen it yet. Tell us what's happening right now.
What's happening, Drew?
Well, obviously I have a lot of skill, and I'm one of the more players. So I'm looking pretty good right now.
Good right now. You've got a 3, you've got a blank. Oh, you hit a jack.
What are you thinking? Like what's
a turn? I mean, like I have a lot of outs. I have pretty much every out on the river, but I miss everything. So, yeah.
And how are you feeling, like in your body? Were your guts sinking to your feet? Was your brain buzzing? Tell me about
I mean, there's some lucky players out there, and sometimes luck is better than skill. So I tried really hard, and I mean, like, yeah.
I try to bring a mindset like I might get unlucky on a hand. But like I don't know, I'm trying to over rationalize, but I'm like, but I wish I hadn't put myself in the situation where I had 1,200 chips left or whatever. Like, how do you think about the position you're in when you have the opportunity to get lucky or get unlucky?
I mean, the blinds, we have such a small stack and we don't have a lot to play with. So I kind of had to make my move, on that. I got it in good.
You got it in good. You got it in 60-40 or something?
Yeah, probably 90% chance I was going to win that hand.
No, that's not true. 1 over, 1 under versus 2 in the middle. That's not 90%.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what the math is on that actually. So.
I heard it was 115%.
I think it's better than a coin flip.
I heard that Drew won, but in like the multiverse in another.
Right. Well, in
another world. Yeah.
Can we bring?
I'm writing a movie right now about this poker game, but Drew wins it.
I like that. I like that movie. I would watch that movie.
And then like a bunch of like children who don't get to make art, like they're just getting all this yarn, and they're like, "We did."
Yeah, I would love that. Those kids get yarn anyhow. I hope so.
I hope they get yarn.
Can we get an interview with Parallel Universe, Drew? Can we bring him on here?
Mike, our producer, can we get Drew
Drew with maximal yarn?
Drew 2. Drew.
I did go to Scrap.
Bandwidth.
I was at Scrap the other day, and I totally forgot that I was doing this tournament.
Oh, you didn't even tell them?
Mention,
you may win $1,000, Scrap.
I know. It was like, listen up, Scrap. But I was in there, and they had the best playlist of all time in there, and I was like, oh wow, that was, yeah.
What were they playing? If we pay them some money, can we get that Scrap playlist?
I think they should put it on. I think they should put it on Spotify and make it public. I feel like I'm distracting. I feel like I'm distracting you guys from the poker play here. So,
we haven't commented very much on the poker play across the course of the night, Drew. It's been a lot of personal anecdotes.
I derail every time Josh gets into like poker speak. I just try to like come at him from, like, sandbag him from the left and be like, let's talk about personal issues.
Yeah. I would like to announce, because we're at the final four, that the next person out their charity is going to win nothing.
It's
That's
true.
The bubble. Yeah.
Guys,
we are on the bubble, and then
remember when there was a brief moment, like about 15 years ago, when like there was a movement to do fourth place medals in the Olympics. They're like, we need to do a tin medal. We're going to do gold, silver, and bronze. And there's going to be a fourth medal because like there's the tragedy of the fourth. Like they don't get on the podium. They're the fourth. They're so close, but they're not. And so there was this movement to make a fourth medal, and it never went anywhere because there's a bunch of like obvious idiots who hate sports and are fucking losers. But I thought that was interesting, and I'm bringing it up.
So interesting. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. It's so close to like the participation medal universe we're living in with children right now. But I feel like that was the first domino to topple into like.
You can give children medals for participation, but for championships of the world, you have to have some cutoffs.
I think you have to make children feel terrible about themselves too in matters of competition, not in their entire lives, but like if they feel like they need to compete. They need to understand that there are winners and losers if you're going to compete.
I mean, fourth place should just get like a cheeseburger in like a bag or something like that.
Bag.
That's
a greasy bag.
Yeah, go sit on the fucking couch and think about what you've done, you loser.
That would be delicious. I think that's honorable and appropriate.
No, I think what Drew's saying is the reason that he brought up the greasy bag, and I think, Drew, I'm like divining the right thing from here, is that like it's like a lukewarm burger in a greasy bag. It's not like an enjoyable hot burger, like, oh, you lost the Olympics, you get a burger. It's like, here's your lukewarm burger, and if you can eat this and eat the rest of the
Crystal's all in.
Or you can be a winner.
Chris just got obliterated by a brutal river.
Yeah.
Tatiana had 10 outs, to be clear. She had any 10, any 9, and 4 8s. And any spade. She had an incredible number of outs. She had like 13 outs.
Yeah, we have our winning charities here.
Yeah. What was Chris's charity? What children will not be fed tomorrow by
Chris's charity was the Able Gamers Foundation, and let's commentate the final 3 here and watch this closely as we go down the stretch. The remaining players are Tatiana with 7 times the next closest player in Morgan, and Bo slightly behind. The charities are Tatiana's which we didn't talk about at the outset. Stop AAPI Hate. We have Morgan's charity. Know Us Without You. We talked about that one, and I've already forgotten what it is.
Can Aaron flash the Able Gamers URL back on the screen?
He just did that.
I know, but if he does it again, then like anyone who's watching maybe can just like donate a couple of bucks so that the fourth place, so that the tin medal can at least like be transmuted into some donations for this good charity that we learned about tonight.
And Bo, I wanted to finish the thread though. Bo's charity that we did mention up top is Rain.
Kevin wants to go, and I know why Kevin wants to go. It's because he goes to bed early because his girlfriend go to bed early because they're 2 of my best friends.
That's not wrong.
We're sleepy. We're sleepy little mice.
We're sleepy little guys. They're just little guys.
We're small and we're sleepy.
Right, say hi to Alina. I hope that it doesn't destroy your relationship that you lost tonight.
She could not possibly care less.
Sure she can't. We'll see you on Monday for steak.
Yeah.
All right.
Bo went all in with his queens here, hoping to get a chunk of change from Tatiana, who called with ace-2 suited, and that's just what Bo wants. Like, there's a way for him to lose. She has there's 3 other aces in the deck, or maybe she could just hit a flush. But Bo is a little more real right now after hitting that. These are 2 garbage hands, and Bo's short stacked. He might call here, but it's not much to win. Drew, this is your first time seeing hole cards. Yeah, Bo just getting out there is fine with the short stack.
Yeah, Drew, give us your take on stuff. Like, what's your feelings, your analysis?
It's so cool to see these hole cards because I play with these people on Tuesday, and it gives me great insight into what they're doing on the table.
The loser in this game is actually like giving you like winning insight. Maybe like you'll kill on Tuesday when you play because you're seeing.
Oh yeah. Like Tatiana is super lucky, and then look at these hands here. This is pretty wild. I guess I know Bo pulls some shady business on the poker table sometimes, and I can feel him bluffing me sometimes, and I just know it's a bluff, but it just doesn't make sense to call sometimes. So, and I think that happened earlier tonight too.
But that's such a good image to have. Like when you know that a player bluffs sometimes and has it sometimes, and you have to like make a hard decision. Like that's where you want to be, right?
Look at this flop. He just flopped this straight, like right off the bat. And poor Morgan is just.
You did that about 20 hands ago too.
Yeah,
you had 10-7 off or 9-6 off, and you flopped 10-7-8. I want to say.
Yeah, it is a pro maneuver to.
Well, I've talked a lot about Bo in the cash game being a master of hoping. Like he will call on hoping, and it will materialize for him. And I don't know how to do that. I don't think I'm as good at hoping.
I think that hope is an enemy in one's life. Like one should never hope for anything and like try to want nothing.
Well, if Bo drops out, I would like for you to pose that to him because Bo's hoping is a really powerful technique on the.
Well, and I think that actually it makes Bo very sweet, having only met him once over poker that one time that I played. Like I think that Bo's hope is like very foundational to who he is as a person and incredibly charming.
I've known him for a year at the poker table only, and I think he's a very sweet, like dear person.
Yeah, like I think there's 2 sweetie pies in the game. One is like right below my face. It's Drew. He's secret sweetie pie. I think he's like a crusty, like secret crust, like crust on the outside, secret sweetie pie on the inside.
Thank you.
And then Bo is just like full on cream puff through and through. You know, like is it, etc.
Tatiana's drawn. Oh, she was drawn dead. Now she's not. I
choose both of you to be stuck on an island with.
Oh, thank you. That's the best compliment I've heard all day.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Tatiana's good at. She likes to bluff, so I feel like it's her only way to win in this spot. Oh,
it's interesting. I haven't gotten.
It
did work. I haven't gotten a lot of new information about Tatiana through seeing her hole cards, like the strange underbets with big hands that could lose. Like she lets people see a lot of cards, but then she builds big pots that way too. So I like it's very interesting. Oh, she's dominant here.
She is sneaky. She is sneaky, and she's learned to be sneakier. And here's the thing: keep in mind, she was down to like what 200 in chips.
It was 25 after the ante. 2-2-5.
Like this. I don't want to be a person who's just like I'm happy the girl is winning, but I'm very happy the girl is winning, and like
I'm happy too. And look at Morgan here.
Oh, Morgan just ate her lunch.
Oh my god.
No.
He's look. I don't know Morgan, but that body language is like I'm a little bit chagrined, but I'm also happy that I won.
You can tell that Morgan is absolutely drenched in flop sweat right now. If you were in the same room as Morgan, he would smell so bad. He would just be like. It's like
that's a scary flop.
Geez. That is funny.
I can tell. I know. I can. One of my superpowers in life is like I know when a man's balls smell. Like when I was in my 20s, I was like,
how do you develop that?
You know, because you can tell. Like if a man has oily skin, like a natural sheen on his skin, you know he's going to have oily, smelly balls.
Speaking of which, I think I need to turn this light down now that the ambient light is off a little. I don't want to be interpreted for being ball sweaty.
Also, another great fact, and Drew, I think that you're somebody who dates. Unfortunately, Josh is married, even though fortunately he's married to a wonderful person.
You can interpret that however you want.
I am unfortunately in a relationship with the person who organized this poker tournament, but
sorry, Tatiana has a full house with a 5 and a 3, which is a very special situation to be in. Sorry,
it's a pretty good hand.
You can always tell how much pubic hair someone has by looking at their eyebrows.
Oh.
But wait, you can tell how much what?
Like, I know
how much
exactly how much pubic hair you have.
Does this work for men and women?
Wow.
Yeah, both.
That is so interesting to
So should I shave my icing?
Like Drew has some, and it's fine, and it's well placed. And Josh, you're hairy, and it goes everywhere.
Comfortable.
Are you saying I should shave my eyebrows too?
No, don't.
Just kidding.
No, yeah, shave.
I should trim them though, maybe, huh?
Depends on what the image that you're trying to convey is.
I think you got good eyebrows. Don't touch them.
Yeah, they have an angular kind of trapezoidal nature that I really like.
I agree.
Trapezoidal? Like
no,
there's a not trapezoidal, but there's an angularness that is very cool.
Yeah, I like that it's not in the middle that the peak is.
It's out on the wings.
Oh wow!
Drew's out, Kyle's in. That's what. Oh wait, apparently we were supposed to ease him out. And
no shit. You don't just kick someone out, but it's been a pleasure.
Talk about Drew's pubes with Kyle.
This is what you bargained for.
Bye, Drew.
I might go. Bye. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're a wonderful man.
We'll have Kyle in a minute. Let's watch a little poker until we get Kyle. We've got 2 flush draws, but one is actually good cards and a big stack. I don't know. I mean, this is going to work out fine for Tatiana, but when you have a big stack, part of it is just like bullying people. You have to have an evil edge when you have 10 times someone's stack. These guys are holding on for dear life, and you can just steal their chips because they don't.
This is too big to fail, right? Like this is the world. Like the amount of confidence you get when you have a stack that big,
it makes it easier to take risks. Like, isn't that what we say about life?
That feels like the big life one. It's just
it is.
You have the confidence. You have the you don't have like a second chance. You have second, third, fourth, seventh chances.
And it's not only that you have a good chance to win, is that you're going to crush other people on the way.
And you're going to crush people with like your fucking attitude is the thing, right?
You're just going to fucking crush them because they might even be. This is the thing. They're better than you, but you can still crush them.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's horrible.
That's exactly what it is.
We're going to bring on Kyle now and talk about too big to fail in a poker game. Kyle, welcome.
Hey guys.
That was hard to do.
How are you doing? How are you feeling? You were so close.
I mean, I think I was the 40-degree day of this game.
To say more about that, what does that mean?
So 50 degrees seems kind of nice. 60 degrees, everybody's feeling great. 20 degrees, it's cold, people are pissed.
Yes.
20 degrees, it's not great. Nobody remembers the 40-degree day.
Nobody remembers 40 degrees. It's so funny though, because it's like I'm a cyclist and I've cycled all over the place.
So much.
That's the perfect cycling temperature is the thing.
You're like,
it's a little cold, but then you go on a big bike ride, and you're like, this is fucking.
Hey, we should take a moment here. Sorry to interrupt this.
There's something happening here.
But Morgan has been eliminated from the tournament.
Yes.
No Us Without You is going to get $270 from the K. Mikey Memorial Annual Charitable Poker Tournament.
Did Mike die? Is it a memorial tournament?
It's a chance to remember him.
Oh, okay. Am I a widow?
You remember Mike?
I do.
Do you not? Let's have this be his memorial then.
Great. So wait. So the charity. What is the charity, and who just won?
I will say it again. Morgan Evans' charity, No Us Without You, has just won $270.
All right.
So thank you. What do they do? I will need to remember.
They give eggs to people.
That's right. They're in a neighborhood that I hadn't heard of in LA. And
Boyle Heights. It's food insecure folks in Boyle Heights, and they distribute food. That's amazing.
4,500 humans
awesome.
that they're feeding. That's cool. Great. I'm about it.
Eggs. How much do eggs cost these days? What, $70?
That's what they cost at the New Seasons Market.
Yeah, it's true.
Tatiana's hitting the wine. Let's see how that affects her game.
So Kyle, like when you say like you were that's like, first of all, I'm going to use that all the time. That's brilliant.
It's not mine. I'm borrowing it from someone else.
Just pretend that it was yours for tonight. No one's going to cite the source or care about the source. Like, does that feel okay because you participated for a long time, or does it?
I think I was actually the worst player tonight, to be honest. Even though
why?
I think I was the least impactful. Not assertive. A little bit cautious early, didn't develop a stack, and so I'm not sure. Josh may have pointed this out, but I think it was just, even though I didn't go out first, I think I was the least impactful player. So I think.
I sometimes find myself playing. Like, there's a question though. Like, are you playing passively, or are you waiting? Like, are you being patient? Like, I don't always know how to distinguish between the two. Like, I was describing Chris as a real patient player.
Sure.
Like, when he's short stacked, like I've seen him dig out by being patient, and it's not this. Like, there's some passivity to that, but I don't know. How do you think about your own play tonight?
I think it was probably inconsistent. Passive, but not you need to be assertive at some point. And I think I just selectively just didn't pick the right spots. So
or go ahead.
No, I'd say just I had a couple hands where I probably should have showed a little bit more courage pre-flop on a couple things. So
we have a situation right now where Tatiana has 10 times Bo's stack. Actually, at the beginning of that hand, she did.
I come from the future, so I won't say anything. But
right.
Oh my God, you know what happens?
I kind of feel like I know what happens too.
Insert your sci-fi movie where I'm the man from the future, but I won't spoil anything. But in this hand, this is when someone's doing a really bad John Malkovich rounders, hanging around.
Well, look at her thinking about it. Bo's ahead, but he has garbage.
Yes.
But Tatiana has nothing. So, okay, that's a reasonable fold. That's a reasonable fold with the board being ace king.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Bo come all the way back now.
Bo has good cards here. He should raise, and he will.
I want to see Bo for the next 3 hours. Just take a hold.
We don't know how much longer this game will last, and so if we're going to get Morgan in, who is just limited, we probably ought to do it. Oh, we can add him with Kyle. That's great. Can we bring Morgan in?
I'll pop out. Just like my play, I have very little to contribute. Morgan.
Kyle, well,
you went deep.
Pull the plug on me.
Kyle, no, wait, Kyle. We got one question. We asked the question to every single person. Do you feel like the way in which you played is reflective to the way in which you live your life?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Hi,
did he do that himself, or did you do that?
Our producer did it, but it's triumphant.
What an asshole!
If you guys could improve my timing, I'd really help it, because that was great.
Timing is everything.
Yeah. That was amazing, Morgan. What happened tonight?
Sorry. Can we say it a little different way? Congratulations on winning $270 for your charity, Morgan. You went.
Oh, that's how much it ended up being. That's great.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
That's great.
Well, you've got one of the great charities. I'm always a little suspicious when someone chooses a national charity, because I'm like, what are they doing? So the fact that you chose like a local charity, Boyle Heights, delivering eggs and such to food insecure people, is a great charity. How did you find out about them? Why did you choose them?
I've just worked on a lot of food shows recently, and so just a lot of people in my life are related to the food industry. My girlfriend is also involved in food service, and so the idea of a charity giving food to undocumented immigrants who work in the food service industry is to me just I can't think. That's great. I'm all about it. Did someone have a charity that was pro-life tonight? Did I hear a rumor that there was a pro-life charity?
Yes, and they were punished by God by getting out third. So
I think I won a lot of money off that guy.
There was I always like to try to figure out what's going on and how to be compassionate for every single person on the planet.
Of course.
And you know what? Sometimes I guess this is how I sort of squared it for myself. Sometimes there's a woman who wants to have the baby that she's accidentally been saddled with, and she can't because she has no money. So I guess this charity is gives them the money to be hey, you can have some money, have your baby, feed them for a while, whatever.
Oh, great.
Can I talk about this? I want to talk about this a little bit.
I want to be I also feel if you even want to have abortions whenever you want, you should.
These can both be true. These can both be true. It's interesting because Morgan, we don't really know each other, but I'm political progressive professionally, and like, look, everyone I know in my life is also politically progressive, and so like for me playing with Nick the last year, who is like put up with like persisted in a room of folks who are also politically progressive, and he's had his attitudes. Like, it's just kind of an interesting experience.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I think it's really. I thought it was very interesting.
Genuinely asking. I didn't know. Yeah. Someone just said, "Oh, Catherine's being really funny talking about this pro-life charity," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
But there's this like direct cash assistance element to it, which is like low key appealing.
Almost a pro baseball player, like they're like an interesting man, and like I'm always interested in like how people.
I'm just
listen. I also feel like if I wanted to have like fun party abortions, I would also like that's how I feel about abortions. Like if one should ever want we should always ask. But Morgan, like you don't play the poker game on Tuesdays, but
yeah.
Can I ask this question? What was the experience of playing with this crew of people? Because this crew of people, they have a kind of a vibe. Like, was it exclusive? Did you feel like you got the vibe? What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been playing on a Wednesday night game every week since quarantine began. And then prior to that, I was playing on a different Wednesday night game in person. So I was just like, I can't do a Tuesday night game and a Wednesday night game.
Oh, but those are different nights. Actually, technically you can.
I could, yes.
I'm just saying.
I would if I hated
every other week
the people in my life.
If he hated his girlfriend, it's like the thing with like television showrunners. If they like bring you into the room and like make you stay until 2 a.m., you're like, oh, you hate your wife and children. But then once you're like, you can leave at 6 p.m., you can go.
Yeah. Oh, you like your kids.
You like your kids, which is great. Like, I love to meet people who
look. But I read my kid to bed every other night. It doesn't have to be every night.
I will say my game is dwindling down, and they're like going to be like, all right, well, we'll do it once a month in person.
Oh, so
I think if you guys are keeping the Tuesday thing going, I would like to jump in.
We absolutely are. We have a potential beast here. Oh, in fact, Bo went all in with his ace queen. Tatiana has 9 times that much, so she can afford to call. But she has an ace.
This is great.
But not a B. Okay, so she dropped.
Great.
Bo picks up a few. That's how you have to claw back. Now they have the same garbage bullshit hand.
Grind it out. This is like.
I just want to say I'm so impressed with Tatiana. She had like 250 chips and she turned it in.
She has an open-ended straight draw. Oh, she dropped an open-ended straight draw for not that. I'm surprised that she folded that.
She's doing what women have to do, which is like. We're gonna die.
They get the same cards.
Claw all the way back, and then what's gonna happen is that like luckily it's like a bunch of nice people in this poker game, but like in real life, if she was to claw back and dominate, she would be punished.
This could be big. Look, Tatiana has 2 pair, ace and deuces, and Bo made the wheel straight, ace through 5. Yeah. He's gonna win a bunch.
There you go. Okay, so she
didn't raise the right amount. But that's cool.
He takes it. Yeah, and he wins $93.
Now, Bo is
not $93.
Bo is very real now. Now Bo has. So sorry, she has him out chipped only 2-1 now, and it was 9-1 a second ago. So this is very live all of a sudden.
Yeah, anything could change.
It's going to be a big reversal of fortunes. I think something really interesting is about to happen.
They're playing for 675 and 405, winner and second place.
I think Sweetie Pie Bo, something weird is gonna. Yeah, he's gonna fucking start. He's gonna do it. This is why. Like,
that was nothing.
Nice guys don't finish last.
That was nothing.
No, I was really impressed. I like everybody. This was great. I was like, I could play with these people all the time. It was really fun.
How'd you play?
You should start not liking. I mean, I hear everything you hear about your girlfriend is like wonderful, but you should start not liking her a tiny bit more, and then you could play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Or I should get her into poker. I think
get her into poker.
Yeah, that's the key there.
Sorry, my light just fell off.
Is there like one thing that has not happened tonight? Is like no one has said anything bad. Like we've all been dancing around the fact that there was a pro-choice charity on the table tonight.
Oh, did I just come in and label it immediately? Is that what I did?
No, I did it for many. I did it.
No, we were all about it.
We awkwardly did it for so many minutes. But I want like personality-wise, who hates who? Who wants someone else to go down? Come on.
I didn't hate anybody. I felt like I made a lot of bad mistakes. I can't wait to watch the stream again and see the moments in which I should have called at the end. I have a tendency to sort of bet to see the river and sort of disregard the idea of money in service of, gambling for fun, and like, well, I'll pay to see it. And then, okay, now I've seen it. Tatiana bets, 10 or, 1,000 chips or whatever. And I don't know what she had. And I felt like that was the moment where the game kind of shifted, where I was sort of like, oh, okay, I kind of bailed out of that maybe.
Well, the reason that Tatiana is winning, and I know this for a fact, it's because she believes that murder should be legal.
Oh, she's like a Purge fan?
She's a Purge fan. Yeah, exactly. She's just like, if you, like, I mean, listen, I think that there's something wrong with, like, look what's happening. Like, she's clearly she's the 1%er of the bunch. And
oh, is that true?
I heard that she's like, her charity is actually like a shell corporation for like a fucking child soldier funded thing. That's
cool. So they train child soldiers how to build tennis shoes.
She trains.
We give child soldiers jobs after they retire. It's like a VA for kids.
That's important.
So they go right from it's the war to sweatshop pipeline.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, which is, she's just like, you guys were child soldiers. That makes you.
Let me jump in on this one. Tatiana just made top pair with a low kicker, but Bo hit trip trays. He has 3 of a kind.
Yeah, she loves.
It just got so much better for Bo, though now he has ways to lose. But Jack 6-2 pair is going to go really deep with Bo. Bo's going to go all in here for sure.
Tatiana loves the low kicker. She loves the low kicker.
Great choice, Bo.
And she has
for Jack.
So she has 4 out. Yeah. That's huge. And now he's the chip leader. Oh, look at that. The defeat she showed her neck there.
What is this? I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be a huge reversal of fortunes, and here's what's going down. Like
even if she had a better hand, even if she had ace jack there, like kind of a real hand, top pair, top kicker, like it wouldn't have made her hand any better. Like she just, when you back into a pocket pair that improves, there's no way to see it.
Mike's telling me to talk shit in the chat, and who is Mo HDI? Who is that?
Modi Drew. He's we lost Catherine, but that's okay. He's a Portland-based programmer and artist.
Okay, yeah, I mean, a relatively okay guy, but I felt like I made a lot of moves where he was like, geez, Morgan, and it's kind of like, all right, that's not helpful, So
I love
Mike asked me to talk shit, so there you go.
Oh, I think it's easy to talk shit about him. He has an aggressive verbal game that took me a while to adjust to, for sure. Like when someone's telling you your play is terrible, like that's always a little hard to process. But I feel like it's smart to say that kind of shit if you're trying to it makes me start to second guess myself and feel uncomfortable. And if it's tactical, I kind of find it effective. Ooh, this is a big hand.
I found the discussions about, so while we were all talking on Zoom and stuff, what we were chatting about was, Guy Pearce movies. Like, what's the most, what's peak Pearce? What, is it LA?
Gotta be Memento.
Or is it Memento? Is it LA? Oh, look, here we go. A nice straight.
Ooh.
With a pair of 10s. He doesn't know.
Pair of 10s top kicker. Bo can get away from a 10 with a 6. There's too many ways to lose. But
I found that stuff to be more distracting. What's the worst Russian accent in film?
Oh, Gary Oldman in Air Force One.
Well, yeah, well, I was saying the worst accent, period, is maybe Gary Oldman, True Romance. But, we're sitting there talking about this stuff, and, suddenly you're like, oh, shit, I got huge axe,
Yeah. Oh, so then you shot it down.
And then you go, oh, no, somebody had 2 queens.
See, we didn't hear any of that, so that's funny.
It's good to catch everybody up.
Thank you. Now I'm caught up on the chat, on the verbal chat too. Yeah. So wait. So if you withdraw from an engaging conversation about who has the worst Russian accent, is that a tell about your cards and your gameplay?
Yeah, probably. I think so, because I think when I'm not doing well, it's like fold, and then if I am doing well, if it's like fold, and then let's talk Guy Pearce. If I'm talking Guy Pearce for 20 minutes,
your card's not that good.
It's not that good. If I got 2 aces or something, I'm like, yeah, Guy Pearce is great.
That's the adage about people eating at the table at a physical table.
Sure.
Like they're only going to play really good hands. They're not going to play 9-8 suited. They're like, fuck it. I'm trying to eat my club sandwich or whatever.
Yeah, I will also say a horrible poker tell that is just of the Zoom era is literally, I have 2 monitors here, and putting the poker game on the second monitor, I think, is a mistake, because I sit here, I talk to everybody on Zoom,
And then you're like,
I go, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you could have won the poker tournament had you not done 2 screens?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God, that's so sad.
There were a few times, like, I felt like towards the end where, like, I had a few claws in me. I got a few beers in me. You know, poker and drinking are as synonymous to me as golf and drinking, or walking and drinking, or doing.
I don't want to not do it. It's not the same.
The one thing about Brad too is that he's a highly he's like a person who wants to connect. He's a person who's like a charismatic guy who like wants to come in and have conversations with people. And you're gonna lose your fucking focus with what's going. Like,
absolutely true. So I'm sitting there.
Yeah,
I'm top 3. I'm playing against, Tatiana, who's crushing it. I'm a couple claws deep, and I've got a separate, I got a conversation going over here, and I got a game going over here. And then before you know it, I bet 20 or 2,000 chips on that. Why'd I do that?
Which is what every time someone comes into the screen, after first of all, Bo's going to win this game, which is amazing. I think it's going to happen.
There's some momentum. I feel like
I could see another flip occurring.
I feel like Tatiana is reeling a little bit, but she has plenty of chips.
Our sweetie pie is going to come through. I think the sweetie pie of the gang, the total human cream puff of a human, is going to be the. And I don't mean that in a way that is mean. I mean that in a way that is like he's a great, sweet person.
I hear it.
A great charity that I love and that helped me out in the past. But anyway,
this is the Child Soldier charity. What is this charity?
It's the Child Soldier charity. No. Tatiana's the one who believes that murder is legal and that we should train the child soldiers into being full-grown soldiers and mercenaries. She wants to arm Molly. That's Tatiana.
Tatiana's, for the record, Tatiana's charity is Stop AAPI Hate. It would be a great time to have the placard flash across the screen.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
I fully support this charity.
Thank you.
I didn't pick it, but I support it.
It's an org. You got to support an org.
You got to support an org.
The main thing you can say about Tatiana, I've been jokingly talking shit about her, but the thing that you can say about Tatiana that is actual shit that you can talk about her is the fact that she believes the movie Tenet is a good movie.
I thought that was interesting. No, but
pretty wild.
Catherine, you and Mike have been watching Tenet
more. Like at the TV show, you guys have been watching Tenet.
No, they've returned to it, according to Mike.
No, I just believe that I'm still in the movie Tenet because I was like, why is this movie still happening?
Oh, she's about to win a huge hand. Sorry.
So here goes Tatiana with a flush, and also now she's chip leader again.
Bo's going to fold. Bo doesn't have anything. But so I recently last night I started rewatching Tenet because Mike was. No, look, I'm the first detractor of Tenet. And Mike's like, no, we're watching it and we're like deconstructing. I'm like, fuck you. Why are you doing that?
I wasn't who's he watching? I wasn't
with you.
No, I was like, I went into a fugue
state.
Oh
boy, here we go. Pocket aces.
The blinds are huge now, y'all.
Oh man.
What are they at this point? They're 8?
Yeah, they're 700, 1,400. No, they must be 350, 700, and he raised it to 1,400. I misread it. The movie is terrible, and it's very good looking. And part of the reason I wanted to start rewatching it is because it shows other locations in the world, and it shows them really kind of richly and lovingly. And I haven't been more than 40 miles from the spot that I'm sitting right now, and so there's a powerful element of like real life escapism that I enjoy. I would never and will never defend or argue for the movie because it is garbage. He hit a river to die for.
Yes, he did. Wow.
We don't like that. He races Tenet. That hand was bigger than the movie Tenet.
2 outer. Wow.
I mean, that was a $500 million movie, and that hand
And then you can
was
see
bigger.
me with my apt commentary in the chat there saying "OMG." So just some of the droll witticisms I'm known for.
What was that moment like for you, Morgan? Do you think back 15 minutes ago?
Yeah, if I can, it's tough. I mean, it's clotted. It's clotted by claws. I can't remember. I can't recall. I think any time I saw someone lose after I had gotten out, it was just pure joy or ecstasy.
I can understand that. Yeah, there's a grapes factor. The sourest of them. Yeah, I'm interested. Like, let's collect some movies that just show places in the world that are beautiful. Like, I would watch all of them. Places I've been and places I haven't. That was kind of my motivation for watching Tenet.
If Tatiana was a Nolan movie and Bo was a Nolan movie, who would Tatiana be, and which Nolan movie would Tatiana be, and which movie would Bo be?
Wait, all Nolan movies? So we've got
all Nolans.
Okay, Tatiana. I got it.
Fucking list.
Tatiana is The Prestige because she made nothing into something and it was magical.
Wait, no.
We watched it happen.
What?
Yeah, this is best film.
Nolan movie?
Yeah. And Bo, I think, is maybe. What is Bo?
What do we got? We got
I think he's got to be Memento because his game kind of went backwards, but then it's sort of forwards, and you're kind of not sure which direction it's headed.
You know what, Morgan?
We got Insomnia up in there.
Morgan's got it. Morgan just did it. I have met Morgan Evans like 3 times in my human life, and every time I talk to Morgan Evans, I'm like, Morgan Evans is spot on. That's Tatiana's The Prestige. There is a thing in my family when we go home for Christmas. My father, who is French from Paris and will never let you forget it, he's just like, he likes to watch 4 movies. He likes to watch Kind Hearts and Coronets. He likes to watch The Artiste, the artist. He likes to watch Barry Lyndon, and he likes to watch, and he loves.
He only watches films set by candlelight.
Oh my god, 100%. Like
no tungsten in my films.
Black and white, no tungsten.
What's the fourth one?
The Prestige.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He's like, what about? Do you want to watch The Artiste? Do you want to watch Kind Hearts and Coronets? Or do you want to watch The Prestige? And we're like, we've fucking seen The Prestige.
Pocket Nine. Oh, Trip Nine.
A pair, second kicker. Oh shit. Well, this is going to be a big hand.
What's happening?
Bo has 2 outs. Bo's got 2
outs.
outs.
What's he doing?
He needs a 10 and only a 10.
As soon as I logged onto the chat, I stopped watching it live. So I'm really excited to see what's
Bo's gonna fold
go out.
Bo's got the good sense to fold all in here, right? Shit, this is hard. There's not a lot of hands that can beat him. There's like 10 king, 10 ace, random ass 2 pairs. This is a really hard fold. This is a really hard fold. And he has no way to know.
And it's a huge hand. It's a huge amount.
It's his tournament life. This is, and she is down. What does this mean?
And then she's down, yeah.
I wouldn't have done that. That's a tell. I don't know what it means, but it sells something.
What, taking a swig?
Yeah, big swig.
Let's reclaim the swig. The swig isn't a tell. The swig is you like drinking.
No, I don't.
want to reclaim the swig.
I think if you think you're going to lose.
Wow, good for her.
I think he learned from the swig, and we'll ask Bo afterwards if he thought the swig gave him information. Maybe it didn't, but I'm curious. You'd rather stay boy, that's tough. That's really tough. She would have been crippled if she lost. Like, she didn't have a lot either. That was tough.
Another pocket pair for her.
We've been reminded by our producers to ask Bo about the swig, but I'm not sure anyone will be watching us talk to Bo after the tournament is over.
Are you kidding me? I'd stick around. You're talking about an after show hosted by Chris Harper?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you listen to the interview with Chris Paul after the game? Or it's going to be like that.
No, it's not going to be like that because Chris Paul is famous and people want to listen to him. No one's actually going to want to watch this, right?
All right, Paraqueen.
Granted.
Is anyone even watching right now? I want numbers.
I don't want to know.
The producers will tell us. We'll ask the producers. Producers,
people, who are they?
Right.
There's some friends of the players. There's some friends of Mike's. This is a a K-Mike conference event.
Our retention is not bad. An hour ago we had 24. Now we've got 19.
Couple of my coworkers who are on the East Coast tuned in,
God!
And now they
Full
bailed.
house on the fucking flop.
Well, on the river, yeah.
On the river. I'm sorry, not the flop.
Like, everyone's like this now.
That's how you be. That's what you do.
That's the swig. That's what everyone thinks a swig is.
Yeah, my favorite.
That's after the hand, you take a swig, not
my
during
favorite
the hand.
Nolan movie
I
is
think a swig before, during, and after.
Miss. Straight draw for Tatiana. Inside
Wow,
straight draw
incredible.
for Bo. A 10 would be the card we'd want to see right here because it would make both their straights. A 10 would be very exciting.
Look, I like Bo. He was nothing but nice to me, but I'm really rooting for Tatiana here because I feel like it was like watching magic happen.
2-5 after her ante. She had 225. That's how many chips she
Good
had.
hand.
it's going to Bo. Like what's happening right now is that like Purity is winning and it's Bo. Bo is just like he's the guy.
He's dialed in.
That is not how it goes. I
No.
mean, it may be how it goes.
I think the order of the universe is that like the sweetest man in the hoodie is going to win a bunch of money. Great charity. I just think that's what's happening right now, and that's wonderful. And like that makes sense to me.
We're getting word from the producers that there's like audio quality issues with your feed, Morgan, which is unfortunate. I don't know what's going on.
Everybody kept saying that. I'll leave. It's fine.
You sound great to me. I think we're in the 3-minute break now anyway, so screw 'em.
Morgan,
Thank you for having me.
well, we'll miss you already.
No, but it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you, and maybe Catherine will see if she plays on a Tuesday.
Does it also look like I put Vaseline all over my lens?
Very smeary.
Oh, you look great.
Okay, cool. Great.
It's very effective. The Vaseline worked really well.
Oh no! I know. Oh my God! Everyone's in. Sorry, everyone's in the break.
They're in the future.
Okay, they're in the future. I don't need to know.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, wait.
Bye.
Why do we? We'll see you, Morgan.
Bye, Morgan. Thank you. Congratulations.
Hi, hang tight. We don't know
Hey,
what
guys.
happened yet. Oh,
I
Mike's here.
knew it, and I knew it, and I know what's happening right now. And I'm not in the future.
They took a break.
Bo has 8 times Tatiana's chip stack, which is dominant, but we saw the reverse earlier today. Tatiana just won that hand. Now it's not the case anymore. Now he only has 6 times her stack.
No,
4 times.
It's happening, and it's like I hate that Tatiana's crumbled.
No, you're.
I was all in on Tatiana, and now I feel like I know what's happening.
You're over projecting. She's ahead on
I
this
am.
one,
I'm
and she's
not
going to win.
projecting. Whenever I want the woman to win too much, she loses.
Like with Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren. What are you thinking about?
You know what? Like both. Those are 2 great examples.
I listened to a fucking interview with Elizabeth Warren 2 days ago that I'm so blinded by how much I like her that I literally don't understand why everyone doesn't like her, which is obviously wrong because she didn't win the things that I wanted her to win. But I just don't understand.
I understand. I'm always like, you're the most reasonable person I've ever heard speak, and
she's just like smart and knowledgeable and caring and right and doesn't have any aspects of evil. And like why don't we just elect her for everything?
Wait, did this just happen?
I brought myself in because we put them on they needed a little break, so they're on a little break. It got real dramatic. They needed a little break.
Everyone okay?
I respect it.
So,
are we on a break?
No, you're doing a wardrobe change. I did a wardrobe change a little earlier, and no one even commented on it.
No, they were. There was absolutely comment on it.
Catherine didn't comment on it.
Oh, but there was comment in the chat. Everyone, and I was like, "Yeah, wait, what happened?"
I don't have the chat. I'm not monitoring the chat, but I definitely made a wardrobe change because I was getting overheated. I opened the window, even though that might have sound issues. But
let me just say, it was noticed.
I appreciate that.
I didn't notice because I was thinking about your brain, Josh, and not your body.
I don't want to be viewed as my brain only. I feel like that essentializes me and minimizes me.
Well,
wow,
this is gotten weird. And
I was thinking that if we could.
There's the Josh. He's bringing Josh.
There
Thank you, user, for thank you. Nick Mershon user 4.
There's a lot of Nick Mershons in the chat. It got real confusing.
Oh, really? There was some freelance
yeah,
name changing.
There was some chat hacking going on. It got weird for a while. Anyway,
chat is an art form.
Yep. We could bring them in and have them talk about it, or we could bring them in at the end.
Let's bring them in right at the end and have them argue with each other.
Okay, that seems great.
Because we can fill the 3 minutes here. This is not a challenge. I really think.
We did a good job. Do you think? Are you happy with our performance?
Oh, I'm delighted. It's been a little confusing for me because I've been watching like this happen live with you guys, and then I've been watching the game and the Zoom, which is like actually live, and then I've also been watching a little bit of the chat, which is like a little bit delayed than what we're saying, only by like a tiny bit. So it's a little bit of a mind bender.
Things.
Oh, here we go.
Now I'm finally watching the chat for the first time, and
I'm gonna pop out because I don't need to be here anymore because I was just here for the break. So
there's a
well done. I've been enjoying it. It's great. You guys are.
There's a world in which we talk a lot more poker during the poker game, and
Everyone wants to hear that. Everyone wants to hear how Bo became Tatiana Tenet style in the poker game.
I think there's an audience that is interested in that.
I think that every audience,
you can't make
pitch a television show. It's like one character is going this way and one character is going this way, and that's how I sell television.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
That's great then.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I'm perfectly satisfied with that.
People just want organization amidst the chaos.
The conflict isn't comfortable, but we can lean into the conflict.
We can lean into the conflict, but I just feel like people want to make sense of the cards. I feel like life is about making sense of the cards. Like there is no order to the cards. They are shuffled. They are brought to you. You have what you have, and that's it. And
from the perspective of a player, though, getting those cards, it feels like a narrative. It feels like, oh, I've been getting shit cards, or I haven't gotten anything to pay off. Like you have a story, and it's interesting.
We're not serving the players, though. We're serving the audience.
The players have stories.
I know, but we are giving them.
So here we have everyone got a piece of it. They both have straight draws. Oh, she got right out. Yeah, she's short stacked. She has been short stacked before, and come back is the only reason I would say that. Ooh, she's got a much better hand here, but she doesn't know it. Possible to know. The aggressor will win the hand, or maybe no one will do anything.
I can't wait to talk to Tatiana about what happened here.
The aggressor won the hand, and it was Tatiana. There you go.
I know, but she's in like a fucking what is that called? Like it's a phenomenon. It's like a law of diminishing returns. She's like in a desperation of law of diminishing returns.
You're willing to even bet 800 when your stack is like 4,000 is a not like monumental stand, but it means a lot more. And
but it's nihilistic too. You're like, like there's a freedom that comes.
Yes.
When you think about
she's looking really good here. She's like, what can I get him to call? I hope. This 2 pair is a beast. Yep, there you go. You got to go all in, and he called it.
This is it.
He had top pair and an over card. That's a great play from Tatiana. They're seeing this, and they've already been through it, but that's a great play. No, don't. Sorry, one of our producers is now convinced he ought to watch Tenet, but that's
no one needs to watch Tenet. I mean, you can watch it.
We talked about it on the poker chat, and a bunch of us were beating it up, and I think we kind of brushed back Tatiana. It was like, oh, there were some things, I enjoyed it, and it was awkward.
Any movie where it's just like time as a character, you're like, sure, whatever.
No. What about that really low Primer? I mentioned it earlier tonight. That movie was so cool.
Primer is like, but that was also like a $2,000 movie that was just like, we don't like
nothing.
Exactly, and I feel like that
the time machine was a cardboard box, like from Calvin and Hobbes. It's so funny.
That's why you like the movie, not because of the time play, because it's like you were going back into the conception of what you thought.
No, I liked it because it worked.
Time was like when I think he's also, isn't he a monster, that guy?
Oh, I would like to know that.
He got me too. I think he got me too.
Primer movie 2004. It was a long time ago. There was no Me Too then. Shane Carruth.
Yeah, Shane Carruth. He beat up Amy Simon.
Tatiana, oh, sorry, I'm going to check that out. Tatiana has another beast of a hand. Ooh, that's just what she wants to see. No, she kind of has like the facial expression may have been a play there. She looked like, oh no, I got that terrible bet against me. Oh, that club's no good for her though. Another club. That's this is what they were reliving. That was just what she wanted, and she got snapped off by runner clubs. That is the tournament. Tatiana, oh, Bo, we just saw that. Tatiana, you were in such good shape on that hand. Congratulations to both of you.
Tatiana, what the fuck?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That runner clubs.
Too big to fail, and I knew it. And here's the thing. There's two people I'm always going to root for. The one woman in the room, and the sweetest fucking guy you've ever seen in your life. And that's both of you guys. And, all right, tell us about oh my God, I just broke a light. Tell us about what happened.
My God, why am I muted?
You're not.
Oh,
you're
sorry.
not.
I'm muted in Zoom, and it's like putting a thing on my screen. So let me get out of Zoom real quick.
We gotcha.
Yeah, no. Technical difficulties. Yeah, no. The two outers to keep me alive. That was ridiculous. And before that, Tatiana coming back from like 250 chips.
I feel like I feel like I used up all of my luck at that point, right? Like, but for the record, I feel incredibly proud of all the hard work that I did during this game.
You're a hell of a player. You're a hell of a player.
We all thought you were going to be out so early. You were down to what, like 290 or something? It was nothing.
Why does everyone keep misquoting them out? You had 250. You had a 25 blind. You were at 225 in that hand. You went all in because the blind was 200. You won that, and then you just built on it. Oh, I won like 1,000 that hand and built up from that. It was so cool.
It was amazing.
It was part luck. Like, let's be totally honest. Just like Bo's 2 outers on that was incredible and really
I'm really good at hoping.
You were saying that.
Can you tell us a little bit? We explored among the two of us a little bit hoping. Can you tell us about hoping?
The metaphysics of hoping. You just have to hope really hard. And sometimes you get what you need.
But what does it feel like? Like, how do you instantiate? How do you embody hoping?
It's. I mean, Kevin earlier said hoping is from the heart, but I don't think it is. I feel it like in here. Like there's.
Kevin doesn't know anything about hoping. I've never seen Kevin hope.
I think hoping, and by the way, Bo is clearly better at hoping than I am, so maybe you should listen to him. But I think hoping is a full body and soul experience. Like you really have to want it with every fiber of your being, and that's when it,
Is it tense or is it relaxed? Is it like what are you like when you're hoping?
What does hope feel like?
It's like clenching your brain.
It's like Luke when he's trying to pull the X-wing out of the muck.
Exactly.
It's like hard. It's hard like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like clenching your you feel your brain tense up.
Do you clench your butt cheeks?
Your butt cheeks?
No. I mean, I last time I checked, my butt cheeks weren't in my forehead, but
no. So it's upper, not lower. It's not.
It's here. Yeah. No, you gotta.
Literally, it's here.
Yeah. Everyone's got butt cheeks in their brains now. It's like, have you ever seen two butt cheeks? It's literally bifurcated in the middle. But when does hope become the enemy? Like Tatiana, because like everyone's like, oh, that's it. Like she's got it in the bag. Did hope become the enemy for you?
You know what? I'm gonna say this on the live stream.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm gonna kill him because you know what he did? I was way ahead. I was so ahead. I was like orders of magnitude ahead. And Kevin comes in to say, hey, I'll just want to say goodnight. Tatiana, congrats. Pause. Unless Bo wins, in which case, what the fuck happened? And then he goes off. I will murder him. I won't actually murder him. I'll take that back in case something happens to him. I live in San Francisco. He's in where is he? Anyway, it's not me. But I'm just saying, metaphorically, I'm very mad at Kevin. He might be upgraded to Nemesis.
There was a jinx involved.
Yeah. Do you think it affected you at only a metaphysical level, or did it affect you at a psychological level? Are you like?
He's a witch, so it makes sense.
I am superstitious. That's a problem.
And Kevin,
something did change in Tatiana's demeanor after the jinx happened.
I want to ask you about a hand where Tatiana Boy, okay, I'm trying to remember the details now.
Is this the swig?
The swig, yes. So I want to talk about the swig.
We've been prompted to ask about the swig.
No, I remember, if I remember correctly, Bo, you had like top pair and a good kicker, and there was a straight draw on the board, and you couldn't know. And I think it was a straight or a flush. But Tatiana made an all-in bet that was like half the size of the pot. Like it was kind of callable, but it would have been a big chunk of your stack. And Tatiana made a wine swig, a deep swig for what was left, and you folded correctly. But I wanted to know if the swig factored into your thinking or not.
Yes, let me give my list of Tatiana's tells. No, I did not even notice the swig.
You didn't notice the swig?
Didn't notice the swig.
Well, we noticed the swig.
I know.
Which swig is this? The swig from the drink? Is that what
Yeah, you drained it. And the question was, would you drain it?
She's Eastern European, you guys. She's gonna...
Would you drain it if you were worried about losing, or would you only drain it if you were legitimately feeling like you were ahead? Or would you drain it because you wanted to indicate that you felt like you were ahead? Like, you can always go to the next level on tells.
It has nothing to do with any of those things. I drink when I'm bored.
Well, he was taking an awfully long time to make his decision.
It's when I get impatient. I'm like, because I know I can't sit still, so I'm like, well, I better do something, and it has nothing to do with whether I'm bluffing or not, because I could be equally bluffing or know that I have it in the bag, but it's the impatience that gets me. So then I'm like, well,
the swig.
If I had noticed it, I might have.
Swig means nothing except for the fact that she's bored, you guys.
Yeah. If I had noticed it, I might have interpreted it as a celebratory swig.
That's strength.
Good to know, Bo. I'll remember that next time.
Well, now you can do that to him when you're bluffing, and he's being like, "Oh shit, she's got it."
Actually, one of the things that's really fun about this game is, as we were reliving the last 15 minutes together while we were waiting for the game to end and for you guys to bring us up, we were, talking about our hints because we could now see what happened, and it was really fun to see how many times each of us had nothing, and like won the hand against the other with actually very similar strategies.
Heads up. What's your heads up?
I had to pick one person to be top two with.
One of the things that happened during this game was that, like, every time someone lost, they got to come in and see everyone's whole cards, right? So it's like, even though they lost, they got to have an advantage for the next poker game, like on Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah.
So you guys are actually the people who are getting like the least amount of information for the poker game next Tuesday.
They're going to go back and watch the recording.
Oh,
2 hours and 49 minutes of it.
I'll take notes. Also, I have a message for everyone who watches this recording after the fact. You might think that this gives you an edge in understanding my strategy and how to play, and I will tell you that it absolutely doesn't, because I'm an intuitive and kind of haphazard player, so it can tell you absolutely nothing.
I want to take a moment here and congratulate the charities that you selected. Stop AAPI hate. I don't have the number anymore because it's way back in the $405 for Stop AAPI hate.
Rain, and then Bo's Rain, which is so great because
and Bo's
very helpful, an incredibly helpful organization for people who have what to do when that happens to them.
And they are seeing $675 from the tournament.
And my $27 because Kevin decided to show down with 7 deuce.
Did he show down at? Wait, what did he have to win with it, or just show down with it?
Because no one had won with 7 deuce, I told him I'd get. So I was going to do 72 if somebody won with it, 27 if they showed down. So I already made that determination.
That's new information to us. So $27 for the 7 deuce that was shown down. That's awesome.
Indeed.
Well, thanks, Jeff, for calling out the charities. I have to say, I already, I think that the cause that Stop API Hate is supporting is really important, and I've already donated some this year. But so when this poker tournament came along, and I said I would play, and Mike asked who I would support, that was just that was it. That's, I think, one of the most important things happening right now. So.
Last question. Everyone got listen, charities, they got the money. That's great. Everyone, if there's 19 people watching or 10, just do a little drab in the direction of the charities. In terms of the last question that we've asked everyone this question, the way that you guys play poker, is it the way that you guys live life? And we'll go with Tatiana first and then Bo second. So the way in which you played poker this evening, how does it reflect
how does it reflect? What does it compare and contrast?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think, well, first I have to define how I played poker tonight. There was definitely some dire straits and, a comeback from no one believing in me being able to win based on what I heard you say a minute ago. You said we all thought you were out. I definitely enjoy proving people wrong and overcoming. So that's certainly something that's true about how I live life. And no, I will say, like, I think even for the last hour that we played, it was very much this sort of intellectual battle, like thinking, what is he thinking? What does he have? He's doing this. What is he, and I think, I very much try to understand how people work in general. So I was definitely living and playing like I live, playing against Bo definitely in the last hour. And of course,
aggressive compassion.
With empathy, with comprehension, understanding, and extension. I hear that. Let's give the question to Bo.
For me, it's the reverse. I feel like poker has changed how I live my life. So the concept of bluffing or being aggressive or having to act with limited information, knowing when to kind of bait people to make the next move, and I feel like all of that has come from the last 14 months of pandemic poker. Just kind of like especially in like business decisions. If I have to talk to a vendor, life is full of poker metaphors. Forcing someone's hand, or so it's given me an interesting framework to look at how I live my life versus my poker reflecting how I think about life.
Oh my God, that's the first, like, it's so interesting that that's the first answer that we have heard of that, of that framework, and he's the one who won the poker tournament.
Maybe there's something to it.
I'm gonna take some leaves out of your book.
Yeah, exactly. It's the poker imitates life instead of life imitating poker. That's cool. Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
It's a great place to leave it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Great game.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Good night.
Bye. Now we click close. Good night, everybody. I'm out.